God. Folks, hello. Welcome to the Gamesline podcast. It feels like it has been 17 years. When was I last on this shit? Like, seriously, was it just... Did I just miss a week, or was I not on, like, the week before? I don't fucking remember. I'm gonna look, because I feel like I'm...
No, it was just last week.
No, I was. Yeah. What the hell?
Yeah, we just took a week off.
Yeah, you know what? That shit happens because we were busy. And that's kind of it.
The reality of this being a I don't want to say hobby, but like, you know, we're not immediately doing this for our own personal profit. The financial factor is for the benefit of the site. But then that just means that, yeah, other scheduling stuff will get in the way.
I mean, I feel like being like, oh yeah, go to patreon.com/gamesline, give us money, but also that it would take a lot of money for this to be our day job, so...
Exactly.
You know.
You know, if a mysterious benefactor wants to put in, like, $1 billion so that we have payroll for the next foreseeable future.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Gaming. Alright. Well, yes, it's me, John, I'm here. And with me is Maverick, who you also heard.
Hey.
And Elvie. Elvie, you're also here. It's been a while since you've been on...
It has been a hot minute. It has been a hot minute of not gaming. Specifically. And yeah, back to gaming again. Back to, sort of back to usual, as alluded to. It's like, oh gosh, it's been quite a busy time otherwise.
Yeah, for sure. I guess not too busy for anime, but too busy for gaming. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, yeah. Priorities are messed up.
Yeah, no, you're fine. I'm just teasing. So yeah, I mean, I will say we have a lot of news to catch up on. That is probably going to be like the big portion of this episode, just because it's a lot. You know, we can just jump into some news, jump into all the shit that's been going on, because yeah, we got like crazy stuff happened last week that I feel like was stuff that we really needed to talk about and we couldn't, but now it's time, and I feel like we really gotta latch onto it, I would say. So I guess we'll start off with the big news from last week. The limited run games showcase, which I really did not expect to be the big, like, honestly, maybe the most, like, hype singular showcase from this season? Like, am I wrong?
I don't know, actually.
I mean,
it's
at the very least, like, the fact that we have to think about it, you know?
Yeah.
Like, that's weird in itself.
Yeah. They have a notorious reputation, unfortunately.
Yeah,
I would say.
Yeah, Limited Run is a company that has its ups and downs, as it were. As a publisher, as we can see from some of the stuff that they're publishing here, they're great, like inarguably great. As a distributor, they have a lot of problems. But hey, we've got some announcements here for some games that are getting physical releases. I'm gonna run down the stuff that's basically just like has already been announced. Like, you know, this is just like digital stuff that is getting physical releases. I'm just gonna kind of run through that, and then we'll talk about the crazy shit after that. So let's see here. Yeah, we got physical versions of Castlevania Advance Collection for Switch and PS4. That's nice. That new Rise of the Triad port for Switch, PS4, PS5, and Xbox, and I guess also on Steam. I guess they're helping with that as well. Kamaujo Ramilia Scarlet Symphony, which is a Castlevania Toho game. It is not Toho Luna Knights. It is a different one that leans way more into like Castlevania's aesthetic. I think it's more like a classic Vania than a Metroidvania, if you know what I'm talking about. I will say, though, there already is a physical copy of it that you can get on PlayAsia, so if this one is expensive for whatever reason, just order it from Japan. That Making of Karateka game, yeah, it is pretty much a game, yeah. is also getting a physical release. Switch, PS4, and PS5. We haven't really been able to talk about that, which I think it's a really cool, like, documentary type release, where it's a digital clips joint, where basically they're just putting out like a documentary about the original creation of Karateka, but then they're also including a bunch of like versions of the game, like exact versions of it, like the original, and then an unpublished prototype that Jordan Mechner made called Death Bounce, and just other things that are like showcasing this groundbreaking original game. And they're saying that this is going to be like a series, basically, that Digital Clips is going to be doing. So they're going to have other like releases that are these collections of games and the stories behind them. Really fascinating stuff. Really cool. I mean, I'm excited to see more of this, and it's cool that it'll have a physical release. We have the Kyukyo Tiger Heli collection, which is just like an old school shmup collection for Switch and PS4. Roller Coaster Tycoon 3 is coming to Switch, and they got the physical release there. This is a new announcement kind of deal, but it's not like gigantic, but I'll mention it here. El Shaddai is getting an HD port on Switch. That's pretty neat. People love to bring up El Shaddai. Dungeons of Aether on Switch. Chicory. I mean, we know you love Chicory, Elvie. Switch, PS4, and PS5 physical release if you want that. Odin Cat's Paradise Collection, which that's I think 2 games. Let me look up exactly which ones they are. It is let me see. It says that it is. Oh my god. Let me turn this around, please. Let me look at the back of it. Bear's Restaurant and Fishing Paradise. I don't know how anyone really feels about those particular releases, but there you go. Nightmare in This Way Madness Lies for Switch and PS5. Midnight Fight Express for Switch and PS5. Colossal Cave, Switch, PS4, PS5, and Steam. Another Crusade, the Gargoyles Remastered Collection. Rose and Camellia Collection. I don't even know what that is.
Let's fucking go. It was it was a Flash game. You're the Regency.
Right.
Yep, the slapping game, as a simple way to put. Hell yeah.
Okay, yeah, they're porting those to Switch. Yeah, they're doing a Jurassic Park collection, like a bunch of the like Genesis games and shit, and that's coming to like everything. And now we come to the big announcements. So the first one on this list is that for those of you in the know. For those of you who care about the Shantae franchise, you may know that in between the original Game Boy Color game and the revival on DSi, there was going to be a GBA game. And apparently, WayForward decided, oh shit, why don't we just finish that? So they did, and Limited Run is going to release it as a physical GBA game called Shantae Advance Risky Revolution. So there's just going to be a new GBA game that's a new Shantae a new old Shantae game. Pretty crazy. There is also another thing WayForward is doing, which is fucking crazy, is they are doing basically like a new port of Clock Tower. It's not like a full-on remake or anything. From what it seems like they're doing, basically, is they're just, like, porting it. Yeah. But they're adding some new stuff, like a new intro, and, I think a new song or something like that. Like, they're just adding a couple of things here and there.
It probably would be, like, tiny things that would give it connective tissue to, like, the next game. Something like that, I would imagine. I think kind of like, you know, and they you know, they didn't do this, but yeah, I think a lot about the Chrono Trigger DS remake / port, whatever you would call it, but basically the modern port of Chrono Trigger onto DS, and like, yeah, they added a bunch of extra endings and scenes to kind of give it more dimension and how it connects to Chrono Cross, and stuff like that. So they could be doing tiny things like that. So who's to say what they might do something more with the other clock towers, right?
It says here on WayForward's website that they are keeping the gameplay, graphics, and sound of the original. This is a new theme song by Mary McGlynn, who did stuff for Silent Hill. A new animated opening, some motion comic cutscenes before and after the game, some extra art, some borders, save states, and some other little things. The big thing is that Mario Cartwright, who did stuff for Skullgirls and Scott Pilgrim, and is just like a pretty prolific artist in the gaming community, she has always been a very big fan of Clock Tower, and this basically seems like something that she's doing as like sort of a passion project. Like she's in like the trailer, just being like, "Oh, I'm so excited to do this!" Like, I bet she like helped do the. I mean, like the new like cover art is drawn by her.
Yeah,
they probably had her do stuff for like these motion comics and for the new intro and all that. So. Yeah, I bet this is just it just seems like it is just going to be a straight up port with some extra little goodies sprinkled on top of it to let a very big fan flex their creative muscle and be like, "Hey yo, I fucking love this series. Check it out."
Yeah.
I mean, that's awesome though. It's not as much as like the Karateka thing where it's like, "Oh yeah, we're going to like chart everything about it," but this seems like a really good way to just like bring back a series and maybe make some more games if this is successful. In a similar vein, y'all, we're getting a port of Tomba. Tomba's coming back, y'all.
Tomba time.
Mm-hmm.
It's Tomba time. That's Switch, PS4, PS5, and Steam. I don't think they're really doing anything else in particular. I think it is just straight up port. That's really cool that Tomba's coming back. People really didn't think that would have happened. And then the last thing that is coming back, which I don't think people should be happy that this is coming back. I don't think anyone is, but there's going to be a compilation of the Gex trilogy, and it's coming out on everything. It's just straight port. They're not going to change anything. We're all going to have to accept all the extremely dated references that Gex will be making throughout the games.
Shaken, not stirred.
Video game archival work at its finest, really.
In a way, yeah. Like at the very least, I think it's important for people to realize that maybe Duke Nukem isn't the worst. Maybe there could be something worse, and it's Gex. We'll see. But the last thing that I want to mention, and
That's
saved it for
12
last.
years of Full House.
The last thing I is saved because it is the thing that I am both most excited about and most fearful about, and it is RZ, the Jewel of Faramore. Which, honestly, the more I learned about it, the more interested I was. So, it is a game that is being made in the style of the Zelda CDI games. It has cutscenes that look exactly like Wand of Gamelon and Faces of Evil. And it's fucking crazy. Like, I mean, they captured it perfectly. Like, it looked just right. Like, I mean, it's not like 100%, but it's as close as you could physically be without being who those people were, without just cloning the art team. They did apparently actually get some of the original artists. Specifically, they got like the background artist, like the person who drew the map of like the maps of Gamelon and Korodai. Which, like, I mean, say what you will about the rest of that game. Those maps are really pretty.
Yeah, they're completely stylistically different from the cutscenes.
Yeah. And they apparently got the original voice actors for both Link and Zelda. Like, Link is just doing the voiceover for that trailer Like, it's fucking insane, just, like, hearing that guy still doing the fucking Link voice. I don't know, they didn't say anything else about any of the other voice actors. They had a character who is basically Morshu, and, I mean, the dude sounded like Morshu. I thought that they got the Morshu voice actor back, but then, like, later on, someone was like, someone posted on Twitter, like, yeah, no, I'm playing this guy, and it's the dude who plays the coach in the new dub of fucking Gunbuster, which is hilarious.
Oh, wow.
Like, yeah, the new Gunbuster dub that fucking Discotech just did, like, right after that, he just voices, like, great value Morshu, and that's amazing. I love that. But then the thing is that the gameplay actually looks pretty decent, though. Like, it looks a lot like...
like, it's not shitty enough. Like, that's the problem.
So, no. That's not the problem. Honestly, I'm pretty excited about that because, like, it's cool that they actually made it a good game.
Yeah,
like,
they tried.
I have played through Faces of Evil. I actually haven't played through Wand of Gamelon. I finished Faces of Evil, and I'll get to how I did that in a moment. And it sucks ass. But this game, like, the way that people describe it, and I do agree, is it looks a lot like Popful Mail, if you've seen that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like, it looks good. Like, it looks legit good. The reason why I was worried was just that I, like, the prospect of someone sitting there and being like, I'm going to make a Zelda CDI thing, like, look, I'm a very dumb man when it comes to this stuff. Like, if I think that something is going to burn while I'm cooking it, I'll run over and go, my cakes will burn. Like, I reference that shit all the fucking time. Like, don't fucking think I won't. But I'm also someone who doesn't like to be pandered to. And I was worried that the game was going to just lean too far into it and just be like, yeah, this is just a cheap, like, oh, it's just going to be a bunch of references to old jokes, you know? I don't want that. I want it to be its own thing. But then I found out that the person who is like spearheading this, let me pull up the guy's name because I do not want to just be disrespectful here. It is goes by Dopley on Twitter, and he actually made ports of Faces of Evil and Wand of Gamelon to PC. That is how I played Faces of Evil, is that he made those ports. So there is a deep respect for those games from this creator. And it is not just like a YouTube poop respect. It is like there is a far deeper love than I think many of us can understand. Mm-hmm. And that makes me a lot more hopeful, you know, like, it's like the fact that he's being like, yes, I'm making it in this style, and I'm, you know, I appreciate those games for what they are, just like as incredibly awful and stupid as they are, but there's still something there to it. That gives me hope. I'm still like, I don't want to fully be excited until I have it in my hands and I start playing it. I'm like, okay, this rules, you know, but like, at the very least, I think in this specific instance, the way that this lined up, this is like the only way that it could be good. Like, someone who knows those games back to front, like, basically remade them himself, and then getting people who worked on it, even if it was just a couple of them, and then a bunch of other people who just care, like, capital C care.
Yeah.
That's how you do it, you know? Like, I respect that, but again, I know I just said that I don't want to be pandered to, but I will say, one of the unlockable weapons in that game needs to be a dinner blaster. They need to have a dinner blaster in this game, or it's not complete. That's all I'm going to say. But yeah, limited run. Who'da thunk?
Limited run.
What are you all excited about from that announcement?
From the limited run?
Yeah. Yeah. Is there anything that you're thinking about?
The limited run?
Yeah.
I think it's very funny that they're porting Rose and Camellia specifically. I can't stop thinking about, like, God, when was that viral? I'm trying to think about what age I was, but I can't stop thinking about, like, constantly playing it a lot. And it was I think I specifically learned about that game through, like, an upperclassman in high school. Now I'm figuring out like timestamping of like where it is. And for some reason I have this vivid memory of like on a computer at school, like after school. I think it was during an anime club. I would not be surprised. And everyone was trying to figure out how to beat the game. And try to get to like that, because the game has an end state, and that's crazy. Like, you would not think past the first 2 women, there's more to it, and the game gets more insane. And from my understanding, there's been updates and newer versions of the game, like long ago since that I never tried, where there's more insane like bosses, so to speak, that you have to slap, and actually like further expansions to the story. So yeah, I don't know if I would actually get it. I probably meght. But that to me is very funny.
I mean, the thing is that, like, even if you don't get the physical version, this still means that it's coming to Switch. Like, you could just get it digitally.
Oh,
so,
yeah, absolutely.
A little less investment, as it were.
Yeah, and especially, like, with the conundrum of, like, Flash stuff becoming obsolete, vice versa, you know, and even things like JavaScript, you know, and, like, how, and people, like, who made those things having to scramble and figure out all these like difficult things to like preserve that stuff and keep it online. One can probably still find the original Rosa Camellia online by someone else. I don't know by the original creator, but like you probably still can, and it's fine. But that is just that's such like an interesting pivot. Like, here you go. It's now on a video game console, and that's very funny.
Yeah, like it's strange but very cool that like those Flash games that we all grew up with are getting that sort of like because there's this, and then there was also I think we talked about it like a month or 2 ago, there's that like Blue Elephant collection for all those old Flash games too. Like they're getting, like, people understand that there is an appeal for these games past just fucking around at school or with your friends after school, you know, like, no, those are good games, like, that's cool. Kingdom
of Loading, right? Am I wrong? Am I mixing this up with some other stick figure flashing? I don't know. Is Kingdom of Loading's on Steam now, I think, or has been. I could be wrong, but that's another big one.
I think those were also Flash games, but no, Henry Stickmin, I think, was also Flash games originally. Yeah. And I mean, those people made fucking Among Us now.
Yeah,
like,
there you go.
It's, yeah.
Yeah, and there's a bunch of stuff. There's like a bunch of as I will go into probably later, but like I know there's like a lot of mobile, not ports, but mobile mimics and like imitations of stuff that one would have found on Newgrounds back then. So stuff like
totally,
and probably by the same people too. They just decide like, oh yeah, this makes sense for us to pivot to like mobile games because these are like stupid fun, quick session games you would play on Newgrounds, but it also makes sense for a mobile game player, right? If you're like on a computer or whatever. Like, here's this dumb stick arena fighting game that's just quick and easy to play. And not a lot, and not that hard to optimize for a mobile port.
Maverick, how about you?
I don't know if there's any one thing I'm like outwardly excited for. I am mainly just cautious about RZ because I don't know, like, again, I can see a lot of the love that is put into this project, but at the same time, like, knowing the history of the Philips CDI as basically the thing that prevented a Nintendo-Sony merger, and, you know, from that also just the condition of the games, the way that, you know, it was all outsourced to a whole other developer that didn't really know what they were doing, still doing their best, mind you, but you know, the end product being something so shunted for a while that the only like immediate appraisal was through, you know, internet community, and specifically something that is so like abstracted from the original conceit, where
parody basically. Which is what this is. Yeah, in a sense, it's a parody, but not exactly like a literal parody.
Yeah, it's striking that flow of just like, okay, you know, how much can we lean on this idea of striking the particular vibe that we're looking at, but then, you know, it overexerts itself, and then it's like, oh no, wait, we've just wrapped it back around to being kind of shitty again. And this time we don't have the cushioning of the, you know, realization like, oh yeah, this is like a totally outsourced studio that didn't have all the information about what Zelda was as a series at that point, and then trying to fill in the blanks along the way with a totally fresh cat. Like, I don't know, like, you know, oh yeah, it would have been great if they got like Morshu in the game. But then I'm also like in the back of my head, I'm also just thinking, oh, that guy's probably dead at this point. Because he's probably just some guy that they hired in Russia and like, you know, went on to go do other stuff with his life. It's not I don't know. It's just a weird point of like recognizing, you know, that that game is now 30 years old at this point, but like part of its life has been living in this abstraction of internet fame, so to say.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I'm just curious how that comes across, not only for people that are like in the know-how of it, but then also having to make this a game for people in general.
Mm-hmm.
And how they'll like take it.
Yeah.
Because yeah, like, you know, I'm glad I'm in a position that more people are like very eager to mention the ways that they have like grown up with YouTube poop. Or, you know, it's like those pockets of my life in 2004 to like 2007 where like, oh, this is stupid shit that I don't know if anybody else is ever going to know about. And to, you know, 20 years later find out, or 10, to grow up and just realize, oh no, like that is actually, you know, the internet at work, making sure that these communities are able to find each other. That rules. Mm-hmm. But then also I'm not going to expect like someone to go onto this on Steam and then be like, you know, wow, what kind of game is this? Or if they lack the context, maybe being like, yeah, the gameplay was fun, but these cutscenes were so weird.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just curious what the actual, like, as soon as I can actually get my hands on the product, I'm just curious what ratio of like earnestness to irony the game has.
Yeah. I will say, I did absolutely like unveil my power level a little too much at work because I was talking to people at work about like the announcements and stuff, just, you know, because one of my coworkers said he was excited about the Gex stuff, which was I told him he was insane, and he was like, no, I love Gex, I replayed them and I liked it, and I was like, man, all right, I'm not going to tell you you're wrong, but I think you're nuts. But then, I was explaining to a different coworker about, like, RZ and, like, why I was interested in it. And I was like, okay, I'm going to have to show you these cutscenes because, you know, you've never seen them. And so we were the thing is, we were at work, so we were watching them muted. And I was just like, you can only really see how crazy it is. You can't hear it. And so I was just like, without even thinking, just doing the fucking lines. Like, you know, just like... And the first coworker I was talking to, who knows YouTube poop, just kind of stood there and was like, John, you're like doing the intonations and everything. And I was just like, yeah, I am. Like,
after you've scrubbed all the floors in
Hyrule. Just, like, I can't not. I don't know. It's fucking crazy. But yeah, that's that. Man, that took a while. I guess we should try to burn through some more of these because news. So something else from last week here. There was the Genshin Impact voice actors stuff that went down. Pretty wild bit of news here that I think can kind of be boiled down to maybe you should like double check who you're working with, because some voice actors behind Genshin said that, hey, we haven't gotten paid in a long time. Very specifically, it was Brandon Winkler, who was just like various additional voice actor, but also the voice actor for Paimon, Karina Bodiger, I want to say.
Yeah, I think so.
Bodiger, okay.
Yeah.
Like, the character that has the most dialogue in the entire game. Like, the mascot.
Literally the face of the game. Like, Paimon is the thumbnail for the app.
You start up and there they are.
Yeah. The updates and stuff. Yeah, literally the kind of the middleman character, too, between the staff and the player, too.
I get those Paimon emails still. I see it.
I do. Yeah.
Paimon's so sad.
So both of them said basically, it's been months since we've gotten paid. What the fuck is going on?
Yeah, basically since last year. Yeah.
Yeah. And, you know, it seemed like that was something that was, like, especially fucked, because, hey, like Hoyoverse makes so much money. They make millions and billions of dollars off of this game and their other games and stuff. Like, they have the money. But then, Sean Chiplock chimed in, who plays D-Luke, and said, hey, might not be MiHoYo here, because MiHoYo is the publisher and developer and all that, but they're not the studio. They're not the recording studio we work through. And then the next day, Genshin Impact's developer came out and basically said, like, yeah, no, we've been sending payment. We've been sending payment to everybody. It turns out that the specific recording studio that both of those voice actors work with were just withholding the pay themselves. Like, fucking insane. And like it like, again, it highlights that like these two voice actors were like just working with this specific studio, and that's just fucking nuts that something like that could happen. MiHoYo said that they are trying to find, quote, alternative solutions, and, you know, they wanted to make sure that stuff like that didn't happen again, but, I don't think we've had, like, another update about this yet, but, yeah,
based on that language, based on what that language they said in that tweet, too, it seems like, yeah, but this also does go back to them to begin with. It doesn't make sense that Genshin has a different voice acting agency for the English language, but then Honkai Star Rail has, like, yeah, they have, like, different agents. It's, like, too many cooks in the kitchen. So I'm not sure why it's not consolidated. Like, the agency for the English voice actors for their other games is a different one. So I think now that this happened, based on, going back to what I was saying, based on what they were saying in a very vague way, I think they're saying they might try to break the contract or find a new agency, or maybe, because who knows what they're going to do. But it seems like they're going to try to break the relationship with that particular agency, which is a good thing. But to begin with, they should have consolidated that to begin with, I think, and they would have been able to have more input, I guess, with that quality control issue. So,
for sure.
So that might be what's going on, and that I think, like, in terms of contracts and stuff, I think that makes sense why there's a gap in silence, because I don't know what's the legal stuff of that.
No, for sure. But yeah, just a wild fucking story. Yeah, we'll see how that shakes out. Hopefully, we get some sort of update, because I would love to know what's going on with that. And another big thing from last week, the FTC's injunction against the Microsoft and Activision merger was struck down. So pretty much the only thing in the way of this merger going through is the CMA over in the UK. Yeah. And they seem to be working to negotiate with Microsoft over maybe having Microsoft sell off some of their cloud streaming services in Europe. And if they accept that, then the merger's gonna go through. There's a lot of talk of how this is bullshit. One thing that was brought up was that the judge that made this ruling, I think her son, right? Works for Microsoft. Doesn't work for Xbox, but works for Microsoft. Not in like a higher up capacity, but just she does have ties to the company, which I would say, even if it is a little hamstrung here, I would still say that is call for a different judge. I don't know how. I mean, I don't know how exactly this will shake out. I like the whole monopoly thing fucking blows. In the end of the day, I just hope that the workers at Activision do better, or are having a better time once things shake out. But man, what a fucking trip! What a fucking whole entire thing.
Yeah, it like you can hold out hope for the CMA, but at this point, that acquisition is as good as presented, put in.
Yeah.
Which, yeah, like, God. I still think about the bit in Psychodicy, the Double Fine documentary, where the reality of acquisition gets brought up for that studio.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, they show the parts of the process, the announcement, and I'm pretty sure people were seeing it too, where it's like, you know, oh, Tim, we just want you and your team to make good games still. We want you to keep doing what you do. We just want to make sure you got the money to do it. And in that scenario, you know, that is a position where acquisition works out. And it seems like for the most part, whatever Double Fine does next will probably be, you know, secure. However, that public image of specifically Phil Spencer, you know, as like the guy who's going to do it, the guy who's going to help gamers get those games. This acquisition is fully like shred any of that facade away with the stuff you see presented, like the ruthlessness of the company in trying to get this acquisition together. And part of it is still, you know, with other promises, right? With the ABK acquisition comes this promise of like what'll happen with his name, the asshole. We've been saying it every other week whenever.
Wait, Mr. Bobby?
Yes, Bobby Kotick.
Bobby Flay? No, I'm sorry, Bobby Kotick, yes.
Yeah. You know, that Bobby Kotick would be more or less removed. That's
been kind of the thing that a lot of people have been kind of like, which again is very reductive of the situation.
Exactly.
Like, it's the average, like, and I'm not blaming people, you know, but you will see a lot of like sentiment over being like, no, this is a good thing because look how Blizzard has been shooting themselves in the foot the past several years. Their games suck. Look at the fucking lawsuit shit. Microsoft will save them. That's kind of the narrative some people are telling themselves because they don't really understand anything else. And yeah, I totally get that. And that's, you know, that's essentially what you were going to go into Maverick. But yeah, that's kind of the situation too, in terms of like the public perception of it as well.
Yeah. Because then, yeah, you know, part of it too is like, oh, we're going to recognize these unions that are coming up. We're going to do all these things.
Yeah,
but then
that was
it's like,
a big thing they were saying too. Yeah.
Again, I don't know, homie. That is a whole bag of worms that you're opening up. And end of the day, this is just another property under a larger monopoly. And one that, you know, has a very extensive history now that this is like basically making sure, you know, Overwatch, World of Warcraft, Candy Crush Saga, like every single Activision property.
Call of Duty.
Call of Duty. Call of Duty. You know, we had to make sure that that's still on the PS4, PS5 for the next, 15 years?
I think it was 10 years, which that was fun. Like, the rumor is that, so, like, when Sony and Microsoft were, like, trying to hash it all out, Microsoft basically went, you can get all the Activision stuff for 6 years guaranteed, or just Call of Duty for 10 years. And they apparently just went for Call of Duty. So,
yeah.
Basically, everyone's stupid. Hooray!
But we got to get more money. And I feel, in the wake of that, I think that leads us into... But I feel like this is a good way to sort of like segue into like the other big sprawling part of the news for the last, I don't know, summer?
Well, for one, I guess still in terms of with the kinds of, like, Overwatch 2 got listed on Steam.
Yes.
And then truth be told, I don't think that is necessarily related to the acquisition, but it is very telling of, I'm not saying admission of guilt. I don't know what to phrase. It probably is admission of guilt, but like what has been going on with Blizzard in general in regards to the quality of that game. And then on top of, like, you know, to throw in another piece of big news, the Overwatch League just falling apart, probably.
Well, what is it? Like, they're currently being offered like a dissolution settlement of like $6 million per team. Yeah, like it might structurally collapse because of that, because they're not coming. Yeah, I don't quite understand pro stuff, but it really doesn't sound good. Essentially, everyone can get paid out. what is it? Teams voting on a $114 million exit payment.
Yeah.
Which, if there's a love of the game, sure, I guess. But that is a situation where I will not blame anybody for deciding to pay out.
Mm-hmm.
But just all of this is the looming threat of, a big monopoly is also coming in the summer of everyone kind of just saying, hey, we need to get paid.
Or fuck this, which is both.
Or fuck this, because this is the summer of unions. This is the summer of strikes.
Hot strike summer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it just, within the last week, SAG-AFTRA was able to vote in and cement, whatever contract is being offered, and they have gone in detail about parts of that contract was not up to their standards, so they have gone on strike. This is in contingency with the current WGA strike, which, an important note, detail, is that you cannot do sympathy strikes in the United States. Those, I think, are, actively illegal, and you could be arrested on those grounds. However, WGA's contract ran out, and the leaders for that organization decided, hey, this contract isn't up to snuff. We're going to go on strike. SAG-AFTRA's contract ran out. They've done the same. Very soon, the Teamsters, this being the general union for freight delivery services, their contract is on the table with some groups, I want to say, and so that might lead to a UPS strike. And though that is one that people are definitely looking at in terms of what'll be affected, because crew sets, the mail, the way that you get sets together, the way that you get so much work done in an office setting, the Teamsters run the fucking state.
Yeah, they don't fuck around.
They don't fuck around. But those are the big three that are potentially going to be.
There was almost a potential Broadway strike vote this week. And specifically a vote. It was not going to be a strike, but still, if it was a majority yes, that would have been really inevitable. But it was averted because they did come to a deal with the Broadway League, which is, I forgot the name specifically, but it was a guild representing tons of the technical roles, such as stagehands, folks who do sets. So not actors or performers, but the people behind the scenes, essentially, lighting technicians. But that was averted recently. But that was another big one that almost happened.
Yeah, and then, prior to WGA, the Directors Guild did come to an agreement, but also that tends to be a organization, from what I can tell, where, you're a part of it, but you're never necessarily, in risk when it comes to that kind of a role.
Yeah, that gets into the iffy territory of, this is a union, but these are also folks who are also kind of in positions of power.
Exactly, where it's
part of the problem.
The deal that they strike is going to be one where it'll still ultimately benefit them because they're going to be in specific modicums or specific roles. That said, you will so them, and I think the thing I will say, at least, or I feel like I can at least speak on, is the rapidness of folks that are eager to role play labor movements. And I don't know, you see people going oh, I can't wait to see all the scabs that are gonna come out, and you're gonna just know who's a bad person. And it's even if someone is a piece of shit, they are still deserving of the benefits that they are given from the union. There are multiple horrible people in Hollywood that are probably still out at the picket lines because they know the benefits they get from being part of those organizations. And, part of it is this, I don't say that to say oh, and we'll never get them out. Cause no, it is still important to cast a light on the people that are actively harmful towards others, because that'll eventually help in the genuine blacklisting and dissolving of those toxic members of this larger industry. But at the same time, the movies is complicated, homie. But that just goes to show the fact that, like, to tie the, efforts of labor and to this, like, specific idea of who, like, is pro and anti, like, big business, that kind of muddles some of these points, where really it is, like, actors recognizing the way that studios and specifically streaming services are really not willing to actually pay out what ought to be, affordable, or like what they should be given their due for. It also is just showing the bigger realization that the streaming economy is just rapidly crashing at the moment, and, having to figure out what exactly is going to be a next step for the current way that we see television media taken care of. And then part of that discussion, especially when it comes to SAG-AFTRA, is figuring out where other media comes into play. How exactly does, voiceover work, video game voiceover work, all these other components that right now, like, there is no definitive, like, guideline on how that works. Or
yeah, on that, like, people were very confused. For the most part, SAG mostly comprises of folks who consider themselves to be, like, in film and traditional television, which today is streaming, performers and whatnot. That said, much of the video game industry is not impacted. I'll just say that very bluntly. And how it's impacted is how, both industries are struggling to fight for the same issues, right? The use of AI and, just overall better wages. That said, there are some voice actors who are in SAG. The overlap with the Writers Guild is a whole other discourse that I could easily go into, but, like, and whether or not are there video game writers in the Writers Guild, who's to say, right? But yeah, there's a lot of voice actors who are in SAG. Again, I keep thinking of Matthew Mercer specifically. And that was a whole interesting thing in regards to, also Critical Role when we talk about, like, podcasts. Hello, you're listening to one right now, but I'm specifically talking about, like, you're on Gamesline.net. But I'm simply talking about, like, actual play podcasts, like, or streams, so to speak, like game streams and whatnot, like folks who do D&D, audio plays, all that stuff that fall, like tabletop games, which are plays, so to speak, right? Yeah, that gets into iffy territory. So on one hand, like, again, I'm going to use Matthew Mercer as an example. On one hand, Matthew Mercer cannot do, like, projects that are under SAG, so more traditional film and screen roles. So that's going to be a lot of cartoons, a lot of animation, a lot of stuff under Warner Bros., which will be another fun example to bring up, based on one of the crew who is at San Diego Comic-Con right now has reported back on. But yeah, he can still do video game roles. He can still do Critical Role and DM Critical Role, because those do not fall under SAG. Specifically, those productions do not fall under SAG, but as members, they are part of SAG. But yeah, it's confusing. So, just another segue, but still related to this topic. Lorelai is at San Diego Comic-Con, or was. It's basically over by now. We're recording this on a Sunday night. And yeah, I think she went to a Mortal Kombat panel. Or I don't know, or like she heard about one or was in attendance. And some of the other news going on, like, there's more stuff coming out about the Mortal Kombat reboot. It's getting rebooted again. But yeah, we got a bunch of characters that some of the first wave of guest characters will be Omni-Man, Homelander, and Peacemaker. So yeah, we got a bunch of anti-heroes. The anti-Supermans thrown in. I guess
John Cena.
And John Cena. Just John Cena. I guess they threw them all in because they know people will complain, like, oh, my anti-Superman's much better. But anyway, I think she was at that panel sitting in. And yeah, they were debating stuff. And at the end, they also debuted an animated spin-off of the series, so like some dark comedy kind of akin to like the Harley Quinn show. So that's interesting. That's like a comment right now.
I think they've been doing animated movies recently.
Okay.
That's what it is.
Yeah, but something like that. However, the problem is, so them showing Mortal Kombat, the video game stuff, is fine. However, Mortal Kombat, the movie, the animation, not fine. That has actually struck work. They might have potentially accidentally Ed Boon might have accidentally did something bad. I don't know if there are consequences or that, but this is why the strike is happening, because of stuff like monopolies and it's a whole thing. Warner Brothers Entertainment is different from Warner Brothers Games. Mm-hmm. It's annoying. That's annoying. Why is one? So I'm not blaming people that even in that room were confused and did that by accident. But that's part of the problem. Like, why is this? Like, why did that have to that didn't need to happen. That shouldn't have happened if it were for the fact that it's so confusing that there is this one big company that also owns these other things, but then these other things are still different from those other things, right?
And then you get the issue of, like, in the setup of voice acting, the whole string of shit that Crunchyroll's doing right now still order to keep anime dubbing non-union, or at least as far away from the contract table as possible. Which, again, like, the delineation of everything is another aspect to this. And, like, the biggest thing that you, as someone that may not be immediately tuned in, but might be thinking, like, oh God, these people that, have both, the people who've written the stories that I have truly come to love over time and have felt great impact from, and the people who bring those stories to life and who create those fantastic, narratives and performances that I think about. What can I do to help? The immediate thing that you can do is always, like, look up the guidelines from each union on how to benefit or how to help. A lot of it is coming down to, being on strike. They are not getting paid. They are not getting income at the moment. Mm-hmm. And so there are emergency food drives. There are various other resources as need be, bigger donation sources, and that helps to keep the foundation going. There's that report, like, a week before the actual strike, saying that, like, the plan was to get people. One of those CEOs was it just Bob Iger? I forget if it straight up was Bob Iger, but somebody, was talking about the fact that one of the original plans is kind of to just let the strike go. And as people are losing their homes, that's when they'll be able to find a contract that works for them.
It was not Bob Iger, but he was. Yeah. He has been name dropped a lot by a lot of actors who have threatened him, which is very funny and very iconic.
There's a lot of ways to lose your house.
Fucking Ron Perlman. No, it was a member of the AMPTP, which is the Alliance of Motion Picture and Television Producers, which is basically the other side of the bargaining table that SAG has been trying to work with. And the AMPTP is very much, not to be confused with the Directors Guild, but it very much is a trade association that is representing a lot of the management of. Basically, SAG is the work. Like, if I were to very simplify it, again, it's reductive, but SAG is the workers. AMPT represents the management, essentially, for a lot of studios. So it was a high member. It was a high upstanding member or representative, what have you, of AMTP who said specifically, and was quoted. Was not written down. I think he said it something like a private conversation, or I don't know, on press meeting or something. But yeah, they basically admitting, like, yeah, just let them starve. Like, let's drag this out, because they're gonna, hoping that, oh yeah, people will give up because they can't afford to just go unpaid this long. And it's really diabolical. It's pretty evil shit. And, like, as you were saying, Maverick, like, the best thing people can do is, if they can, just try to support the funds that are going to the people most effective, and
support the funds, inform, and definitely do what you can to make people realize, like, the easiest thing that you can, like, say in contention to the strike is, like, these are just actors. What are they getting paid for? They're all rich Hollywood
like, stop
types.
That misinformation.
Because a lot of the people that are affected are, work
trade
actors.
Workers. Yeah. Also trade workers, too. Yeah, like people have this image of like, oh, it's just like another celebrity, you know, like they make a million, like what are, you know, if they're not working for all, they're fucking fine. Well, which is like, okay, yeah, that's true, but that's actually not, that is actually such a minute percentage of those affected.
For so many people, getting the union, like getting the SAG card means finally I have health insurance.
Yeah, basically. And there's gonna be tons of actors who are like, you know, and other famous people who are in solidarity, like, you know, are like, oh yeah, great, you know, but they're not necessarily, you know, and this is where the other confusion is. Like, it doesn't necessarily mean they are also a SAG member, but they're probably like in support. So they're not gonna mess up things and cross the picket line by working on a potential SAG production, you know, when meanwhile people paid lower to them or like lesser known actors or, you know, actually SAG members and whatnot and can't get work.
Yeah.
Right?
And at the moment, there has been news of a few, SAG waived productions that are currently being worked on. And so, you know, those have been like permitted through SAG-AFTRA specifically. And it's like, that's fine. You like do this, you know, end of the day, it's making sure that people get paid to do what they want to do this thing that they so love dearly or have found a knack for. And you know, one of the big champions for this right now, Bob Odenkirk, it's, you know, he's been on the record saying it out there at the picket lines. They're doing the work now so that they don't have to do this for another 20 years. Because now is the time to really get there. If you are able to go to a picket line, you know, help out, figure out what you can do. But nothing has been called yet for like a boycott. And that's at least one thing to know, where it's just like, I think it is very easy to get caught up in like, oh, well, how does my dollar affect, you know, what's going on? How does what I go for affect somebody? And one, if you're already like, you know, acquiring stuff through other means, yeah, keep doing that. That's fucking your prerogative. But if you're in a position where you are like an access to a streaming service, like, don't feel bad for continuing to do that. And ultimately, boycotts do not really... It would take a very specific way to manage a boycott in order for it to give the message that comes across. In this case, it would just be like, you know, there's a reason why they give you the list of options on why you're leaving. They anticipate loss, these streaming companies. And so you can go in and be like, I disagree with what's going on. That's just one less expected turnout that they're assuming. But to be able to like keep the strikes going and to fund the people that are actively trying to get that payment back, that is a more deliberate and anticipated way to hurt the companies where they ought to be hurt. And you know, those are the current strikes going on. And then I think the last bit of this segment, so to say, is you know, in the wake of all this, there are some other unionization efforts going on. Not only are we seeing some animated unionization efforts between Disney wanting to the Disney branch of the Disney refusing to recognize the Animation Guild at the moment in their efforts to unionize, and so getting a petition signed up there. There are workers in Warner Brothers Animation and Cartoon Network that are trying to launch a unionization effort, and so you're seeing this come up through. To wrap it back to our neck of the woods, the Sega Union has been recognized in a very outstanding election, and now this is the largest multi-department union in the gaming industry.
I think they're the only one specifically because every other union that has either been recognized is a specific department. I think they're the only video game union right now that is like pretty much like a whole sector of the whole company.
Yeah.
And not just like a specific team or department.
And so that's big. That is.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I don't know. Like,
it's strike summer.
Yeah,
I will say, because of this happen, like, you know, again, that's, you know, you were saying about the waivers, you know, like A24, which has been kind of like a champion for, as the quote unquote, the indie studio. Though that's hard. That's hard. That's weird to say because I know indie does not mean synonymous with like low budget. That it does not mean that. But they're just been so successful in killing it the last couple of years. That is like weird to say to A24 is indie, but they very much are by literal definition. A24 is one of the studios that have been okayed to like just keep doing work, just keep going, go off. I like this actually happened during COVID, but I'm very curious, like, what would be the interesting pivot now too in terms of like indie projects in general. And yeah, some actors probably now gonna try to do voice acting for video games. I've been kind of thinking about that. Like, I know that's like, because the development cycle for video games are quite long. Of course, that's not gonna like mean like, oh wow, just a magical moment of like suddenly all these Hollywood stars doing video games. Which was also a moment like back in 2017, right? That did happen for a bit. Elijah Wood was like in every video game for a hot minute. Like, is he going to do that again? I don't think he's under SAG. I think he's in he's represented by a different thing, but I'm not sure. But like, I don't know. That's like interesting to see like what kind of art is going to come out because of this gap, which was very different, I think, from the last time there was a big writer's strike, and it was just a dark time. And
finally, Dr. Horrible 2.
Number 2. They did say there might be a sequel, but who's to say?
God. I didn't know.
Sans Mr. Whedon, I think. I think they're pretty sure, like, yeah, we're not gonna, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, what is there to continue?
God, what was it? One of those projects was like something that like Mark Wahlberg was doing, I think.
Oh my God.
With
Mel Gibson?
Maybe. I
the
think
scariest, most problematic.
Flight Risk, starring Mark Wahlberg and directed by Mel Gibson.
Terrible. Bad.
Yeah.
Are we actually...
Oh yeah, we're gonna have some insane self-funded stuff, yeah.
I will,
God.
if one of the results of this strike, outside of, proper, like, contract negotiation and the efforts to get things up to date, if that gives us the, like, the on-film version of if I was on that plane, things would have gone different, I will lose my mind. God.
Yeah, there could be like some actor self-startups. And again, I keep saying it, like Elijah Wood in every video game. We're gonna see someone getting into video games and all that, yeah.
Alright. Well, let's see here. More do y'all want to take a break from news? Just a little one.
Yeah, I think that's fine. Yeah, because we don't have. I think talking about the strike was like a super important big chunk of that. Honestly, right. Everything else is not that. Huge.
Yeah, no, I know.
Not to belittle the importance of other news. All news is important, but
I'm just saying we can talk about what we've been playing for a little bit.
We absolutely could.
It's been a long time. Tell us about what you've been playing. Hit us with some of that.
First of all, shout out to Leos out there. It is Leo season, aka it's known as cuffing season. Be safe out there. Be careful. Use protection. I've been playing, coincidentally, a lot of dating sims. No surprise. I've always played dating sims. That said, I'm playing a couple of freshly new batch release ones. I'm going to talk about one first. As a disclaimer, I personally did back this on Kickstarter. Oh my gosh, about several years ago. And this is like the inaugural game of a developer called Perfect Garbage. Now, the irony of the name sadly will not, fall flat right now, as I'm going to go into. And they made this sci-fi queer visual novel with dating sim elements called Love Shore. So welcome to the Love Shore, y'all. We're going to the Love Shore. Quick notes about this. It's a cyberpunk game. Again, that could mean anything, right? That could mean so many things. Again, that's a contentious label in the last couple of years, and how that's kind of been both misused, but also been, but I think that's like a fine label for that, and how they also described it in the game's marketing. So where to begin? Love Shore, takes place in Love Shore. One of several places. It's a city. It's a futuristic like city, and again, there's like is kind of like, again, as I just said, it's a cyberpunk game. There is like a dystopic undertone to this sort of place. It has that archetype of like, yeah, it's always night. There's like neon aesthetics, sure. It's all those things on a very superficial aesthetic level. It's interesting because in this particular future, there was like an underpopulation crisis. There was like a fertility crisis, so to speak, which you know, at least in recent modern fiction, I feel like that the opposite has been kind of sort of like, oh my gosh, overpopulation. This one like went the opposite route, and in this particular word, as a result, a company had to step in and be like, no, people gotta fuck. Let's fix this, and they basically to address the population gaps, like a company basically figured out how to make synthetic life. So some sort of like, I don't know, I think a lot about like the augmentations in like transhumanism that was like in the DX games a little bit, but like they specifically figured out how to like create artificial life, like not quite test tube babies, but literally like the synthesis between like we are making literally new people from the lab combined with like I guess like cyborg production in a way, like they're taking pre-existing genetic material to like, you know, from someone who probably was once a human, but then they died at some point and they kind of, you know, so it's a whole thing, right? And then over time, the company, of course, shuts down. Blech. So yeah, because all these problems, no surprise. Yeah. And now we're like in the quote unquote present day of Love Shirt, in the aftermath of this company going down. And you, the player, are playing these two different, what they call S-humans. So like, kind of like superhuman, cyborg humans. You're playing these two different, S-humans, like a man and a woman, respectively. And you explore the ramifications of what this company has done with like people, with like these S-humans going about, alongside all the other minute like subplots going on in the city, and probably falling in love. There you go. So that was very long-winded. But yeah, repeating this, I did back this game. This game was several years in the making. This is again an inaugural new indie game by an indie team, which I love the art for this. That's basically what pulled me into it. I saw the art and I played the demo like back then. And I was like, oh, this is cool. This is a lot of promise. But unfortunately, as much as I talked about this game, I'm pretty disappointed. I played.
No.
No, not another Kickstarter game that failed. No, I backed many things on Kickstarter, and so far I've had like a good track record. I feel like I've only had like maybe 2 to 3 projects out of like maybe 10s, almost 20, honestly, like things I backed on Kickstarter that I felt like were disappointing or just failed. I never had like a fully like ghosted experience that some people have notoriously had, where like the creator just like took their money and ran. No, I've not had that. In terms of any disappointments I had from backing Kickstarter, it's been more like, oh, the end product wasn't good. And sadly, this might be one of them, right? So first problem. So this is a visual novel. There's only one save slot.
Ooh,
There's
that's not
only
good.
only one save slot. What do you mean there's only one save slot? Why does a modern game have only one slot? I thought there was a bug. I sincerely thought it was like, oh, this might be like a fucked up bug. That's crazy. That's wild. No, everyone else is saying the same thing. Everyone else is complaining about the same. It's like, what do you mean there's only one save slot? No one... This game has the promise of having... So first of all, this game has the promise of like multiple endings, multiple routes. Why did they think that was a good idea? That does not make any sense. I swear it must be a bug. I don't know. But again, the developer hasn't said anything about it yet. Because when you like... Again, and I don't know if they're using Ren'Py. No, I think they're using Unity. The Unity engine, actually, not Ren'Py. Because the way the menu looks, there's like this conceit of like all this empty space where other rhetorical save slots would be. But no, it's just one. It's just one. It's like, oh, okay. I'm saving in the middle of the gameplay, and I'm looking back like, oh, I'm gonna. Oh, okay, that was that. Oh, I maybe didn't want to make that choice, right? And like, I'll look back, and no, I'm like squinting. I'm looking. It's like, oh, that's weird. Maybe I didn't save. No, it really hit me that there's only one save slot. That's insane. That's already like bad, red flag. This game is awful, bad, garbage. Not quite. Yeah. And then, there's other, like, again, that's the most insane thing. Like, that, I don't understand why a game would just choose to do that. Again, I don't know if it's a bug, but that's a problem. There's no backlog. Again, it's a visual novel, no backlog. I'm nitpicking technical stuff first. No backlog. You can't really change the display settings, which is a bummer, but you can put this pretty neat CRT effect to make it look like an old TV, because again, you see it's like 80s retro. Yeah. It's just like, come on. No, one save slot. But beyond, glaringly bad technical issues for something that markets itself as having multiple routes, endings, just literally bad. Like, truly a huge detractor to play again because of that fucking issue. Now, actually, to the story and actual gameplay. So, what's cool about this game, though, is that, throughout the progression of, like, your different paths and whatnot, as either the two characters you choose to play, you kind of gain these passive skills every time you make a choice. So, you get things like strength, courage. I forgot what the other one was, but you get these 3 different passive skills and they either go up or go down as you go. Oh, your health also, yeah. And that's cool because as you go further down the line, you're going to run into these choices that are gated by whether or not you have a high enough skill. So for instance, like, one of your characters keeps like, I don't know, like, let's say one of your characters keeps like choosing aggressive options. So in a way that's like kind of like, that is upping your bravery skill, your bravery skill. And like, towards down the line, you have to make a really serious choice where, like, oh, do you want to keep, just as an example, this is not actually something that's specific. This is not something specific that happens in the game. Like, oh, do you want to go down the tunnel? But if your bravery skill is not high enough, that option will be locked out for you. So now you have no choice but to choose the other 2 options for you. So sadly, you can't really choose that skill. It's locked from you. So now you can only choose options. So that's like kind of cool. That's a cool incentive to play the game again and be like, oh, maybe I'll try to make other choices, to up my bravery skill, knowing that's going to happen again if I go this route. But there's fucking 1 save slot. Anyway. That's like really cool. That said, like, I think in a way, like, other visual novels have kind of done that in a covert way, but this one really makes it upfront. Like, oh yeah, here are things you can do. But to the problems. There's sadly more problems than, like, positives. It's so sad. The game length is very short, I feel, which is, like, a very, again, shocking for a game that's, like, been in the works for quite a while. They just feel short. Like, they're like, again, you like, for a visual novel, you kind of have to expect like a huge like word length count, right? But then, they feel very brief and short. And like the passing of time of the events in the game don't really make a lot of sense in terms of like pacing wise. It's the type of game where like once you, it's a type of dating sim where once you choose a character, you're locked into that route. You can't really swerve into other routes, and some visual novels choose that. But as a result, it feels like because of the length of the gameplay, it's like, oh my gosh, things are rushing so quickly. Like, it feels like many of the events and the many routes I played are like all just like within a few short times and days. Like, I know I'm just criticizing the writing quality basically at this point. It's like, oh wow, it doesn't feel like these don't feel like realistic adults falling in love. Though what is cool about the game too is that you can avoid romance intentionally. Like, you can very much like choose a character, like, oh yeah, I want to focus on this character's route, but I don't necessarily want to romance them. And there's very obvious blatant very blatant choices you can just make where like, oh, this character is about to lean in and kiss you, and you're not going to get penalized by saying, no, I don't want to kiss them. And that's fine. That's cool. And the game proceeds and you're not penalized for that. Like, that's kind of neat. That's cool. Like, it's a dating sim where you actually don't have to, like, it's a game that knows it's marketing itself as like a dating sim or like with romantic options, but it recognizes like, oh, maybe you don't really want that. And there are sex scenes, I'll say that. It's not like explicit, but it's very much like R-rated sex scenes. So it's like, oh, just enough is shown where it can be listed on Steam without issue. I will say, so I forgot to mention that it is an 18+ game, but the sex scenes are very much like in the vein of like, you might see a boob, but you won't see anything past a boob, right? You know, and like what
then
these
why
two
bother?
Oh my goodness. And what these two bodies are very obvious in what they're doing, but it's enough to be like shown on a movie theater with like 18+, you know, audiences. So,
well, why would I if I can just get, let me just scroll up. Sex Campus Story. Or, Lust Elements Season 1.
Or Pussy 4. I don't know how many Pussy games are out there already.
Pussy 5 might be in the offing.
Oh my god. Well, there you go. But yeah, it's overall like, man, it's just like the fact that I backed this game, that's pretty disappointing. It's just, yeah, like, and yeah, it's just, oh my god, like how, I'm still pissed about it. Like, what do you mean there's only one save song yet? That makes no fucking sense. But yeah, the writing quality is needs work. Like it's a shame that like a game that's like marketing itself like, oh, here's romance is not that like convincing. I think like a huge issue too is that there isn't a lot of flavored text in the world, like in the game itself. So like, you know, I think a lot about like this is like the game we go to in terms of like text games, like House of Amagura, where there's like a lot of flavor text and a lot of immersion to get you into the different like time periods and like settings. Even though this is like one setting, but it's a setting that changes, and it does a great job of like being just descriptive, not to kind of get you in the character's head, but also making sure you know what the hell is going on. It feels like in Love Shore, it's just very dialogue heavy. You know, there isn't a lot of inner monologuing, so it's also kind of confusing. And it really seems to also show like a lot of issues in regards to, I think, the world building as well. And yeah, just the overall composition, again, of the writing. And it's crazy to me that this is a game that allegedly was like in development for quite a while, but it's still a rushed project where I think there's probably more that needs to be added to it. A great example of this problem, I'm thinking of, I was playing the male character, and he works at like a porn shop. Like as a part-time job. Again, I don't know if it's in that particular route. He works at a porn shop as his part-time job, or like that's really like what's canonical to his character. But then a break-in well, it's not a break-in that happens, but like a guy who got shot walks in, and this guy is like actually a potential romanceable character in another route. However, I'm not playing his route. He's just like another NPC. Oh yeah, it's cool that between the two characters, like their stories overlap, but they never really have to meet if you don't want them to. So that's cool. So, but yeah. So yeah, a guy that got shot walks in, he collapses, and he's like, oh shit, I'm gonna call someone for help. And it's actually in this moment that you actually are technically locking in your romance route. So it's very funny that your romanceable candidate is locked in based on the fact like, oh my god, I need to cover up this dead body. That's crazy. And you do that, and yeah, and they move, yeah, and then it basically like pivots you to like whatever that character you decided to call in to help you with this situation in. So I'm like moseying on down in this route, like, oh yeah, like, you know, like, and I actually got a good ending with that character too, you know. I'm trying my best to avoid spoilers, but also because I forgot their names already. That's how sad I am about like how lackluster the raid is. But anyway, and I'm like midway through, and I realize, oh my god, they never referenced that dead body again. Like, what? They never referenced that event. Like, so what happened to that character? Like, that seemed like an important character that, like, they never referenced that incident again. And at the ending, too, like, there's a whole thing about, like, all the cyborgs, the S-humans, like, having this uprising. Like, they're going, again, back to Deus Ex, which has a similar plotline, about, like, you know, their body parts are going out of control. It seems like some outside forces controlling them, and they're like want to kill natural. You know, it's a whole thing. It's a whole like kind of like genocidal, like class warfare kind of plot thing. And at the end, like they kill supposedly one of the cult leaders. and not really clear, but they kills allegedly the villain, right? Like someone who's painted as the villain. And then it just ends. It just ends. It doesn't show like an epilogue. It doesn't really show the ramifications of that. It just shows like a kitschy cutscene of like, oh yeah, like me and my new girlfriend on a car cruising down this. It was just weird. Like, again, there's like a lot of like the lack of substance and dimension to the world, and part of like also technical issues where it seems like things, I'm realizing now as I'm saying, it seems like things were written in the isolation of those routes with those specific characters they're supposed to be in, but as a result, they just completely forgot about or like underhandedly did not develop the whole world and how that like also should influence everything else. Like, it was just very weird. It was just like, what, So that in part, that goes back to the issue of like, yeah, it feels short and just underdeveloped, and yeah, that's just a bummer. So yeah, I don't know. It's definitely something I can't recommend. That and this developer's already promoting their new game. Like, good for them. Let's go. But also, Love Shore feels like an incomplete game. I feel like this is something that could be fixed easily by adding more writing, more script, and first of all, of course, adding actual save slots. But it's yeah. Otherwise, you have to save scum the game. That's crazy. But
Yeesh.
It's yeah, it's a bummer. That's a huge bummer. Like, it has a lot of potential. It's, again, such gorgeous aesthetics and art, but then writing is bad. Writing is bad on both the technical level and actual narrative level. So, yeah. Yeah, I'm just thinking about it a lot. There's, like, tons of characters you meet and run into, but then they never follow up on it, and it just... each route ends where it just ends.
Very fucked up.
It is fucked up.
Very fucked up. Maverick, tell me a little bit about what you've been playing.
Yeah, I mean, my big thing is I'm still trying to get through Final Fantasy 16 still. I got some cool stuff, so, every time that I, like, finish the session, I just saw that I'm, like, 60% through the game. And it's like, oh, maybe I can get there at some point. But for now, I'm at least trying to, like, get into other stuff. And the main two things I picked up were Bear and Breakfast and Crayon Shin-chan, yeah. Me and the Professor on Summer Vacation, The Endless 7-Day Journey.
Hell yeah, cozy.
Right.
Cozy hours, cozy gaming.
Just two cozy games. Bear and Breakfast, it's a... saw it in, like... I think it was like a Wholesome Games presentation, I want to say.
It's from last year, actually. Yeah.
Yeah. And really, you're just you're a bear, you're in a wildlife area that specifically was like affected by a fire like a while back. And so a investment, like a real estate company through like this shark intercom. I'm thinking about like a Blubbo the whale from that Homestar Runner cartoon. But if, like, instead of asking you to sever your leg, you just had to, like, do real estate. But, basically gets you involved in building up these old, B&Bs for people to go in and just, like, stay the night in. And so a lot of the game is just gathering resources. You then have the space to work in to then, like, accommodate for bedroom size and, the kind of stay that a person would want. As you get more clientele, you also get access to more areas in your location to set up other restaurants, not restaurants, but like other B&Bs that then have their own amenities where it's like, oh, this place is just a cabin, and that's fine because, there's an outhouse and a, like, shower space to the side. Don't think too much about it. But then the next area will be like, all right, now we're going to introduce, here is the, build the bedrooms for the people, but then also they might need, if you're building out this motel, you probably need to build up some bathrooms in there. And, they need to have a little entertainment. Build a bar somewhere in the space, because that's what they want. Next area that I just recently unlocked was like, hey, all right, well, this old farmhouse up north, it still needs, the basic bedrooms, still need to worry about the bathrooms, but people need a place to eat. They probably are going to want a kitchen, a little dining space, and that also unlocks cooking, is what I've been doing so far, trying to, like, figure that out. And then this also has its own like additional space of like a campground because people want to find their entertainment that way. Like it's trying to slowly scale the kind of resource management you need to do per zone, which is really interesting. Right now, I'm just in one of those spots that I find myself in with these kinds of games where it's like, let me scale down a little bit, just, grind out the level 1 location since I can afford to just max that out and ritz that up. And from there, build up my other properties so that they can actually be like easier to upgrade over time. And it's been pretty neat. Like, really easy, really simple, but totally don't mind it. Shin-chan. So this is a game made by Millennium Kitchen, who have, I forget if it's the studio wholesale or if it has at least been people who have worked on the Boku no Natsuyasumi games. And so this being the series, Japan only, started on the PS1, that was basically known as like, you're a boy, literally named Boku, and you just spend an entire summer experiencing the Japanese countryside. The days pass based on like the fixed spaces that you walk past, and so like every time that you have to get to another screen, that is when your time advances. And so you can spend a whole day like fishing, watching TV, like literally just spend the summer how you want to, is the whole idea of that game. And here we take a spin because we got the property Crayon Shin-chan attached to it, a much more rambunctious boy than smiley-faced Boku. There are the shoulder buttons are dedicated to being the button you use to make Shin-chan do the butt-based alien dance.
Let's go. Yes.
As it should be.
And that's actually like, it's a faster way to move around the screens.
Let's go.
Like if you just want to, because the whole bit is that you and your family are going to the countryside because your dad's doing a business trip, but you're going to be helping out with your mom's old childhood friend and like what they've got. They're going to house you up, and you'll just be hanging out there. And on the trip there, they meet this kooky old professor who's like, check out my camera. It turns pictures into drawings. Which is like, all right, cool. It's the mechanic for like every Boku game has like a journal that like as you're doing stuff, he's like putting stuff down in his journal. This is like a way to like bring that in. If I guess like they've never said, is Shin-chan the kind of kid that would draw? We don't know. Have this camera. And then I recently just got to the point where this same professor has claimed to build a time machine, and he just brought a dinosaur into the backwoods town that they got.
Hell yeah.
So, as the name implies, I'm pretty sure we're going to be doing a Groundhog Day scenario of this week that I'll be experiencing. But along the way, if you've known anything about the Boku no Natsuyasumi games, there's going to be a group of kids that you meet up with who will do, like, beetle wrestling and stuff. You're going to, like, help out around the local newspapers and stuff. The grandfather for this family you're staying with, he runs the local newspaper. And so, like, your job, so to say, is to help out and, like, show them any cool articles. That's where your journal comes in, where basically you always get the option between, like, what did they say? The fastball and curveball descriptions of what you find. And so, depending on what you put in, one of them can be a very straightforward description of what happened. The other one might have a little bit more flair, a little bit more like just be a little bit like funnier about it. And neither one is necessarily wrong. It kind of just depends on like the situation. Some will be like 2 stars or 3 stars, and I've just been hitting fastball or a curveball for each of them. So that was a good way to be like, oh wow, okay, I can like mix it up a little bit. And so that's been fun to see. It's just super chill. Like, they load you up with the ambience of the Japanese countryside. Cicadas are out the wazoo here. The babbling brooks. That's right. And it's just really chill. Like, the next time I talk about it will probably be when I actually beat it, maybe, because this one at least has more of like a direct narrative, and so like that'll be fun to see. It's fun. It's just a nice little way to inject the summer in, as I'm slowly getting ready to finish up this, and then also make my way into the Gates of Trails.
I wish more games like of that I wish those games came out in the US. Like the only one, and I played this one and I finished it to the end and I loved it so much. The only one that came out in the US beyond the Shin-chan game being accessible is Attack of the Friday Monsters.
Yep, that's the other one.
It's very good. Very cute, very sweet. Just like more idyllic kind of like interactive adventures where the goal is just to get by the end of the week. I think that's fine. Like, I think that's pretty good. And I don't know.
I think there's an audience for it more nowadays, but then it also just gets conflated with, you want a relaxing game? Here's a farm sim.
Yeah. And God, that's a whole thing I can complain about where it's like, again, like, and I feel like every time on the pod, I'm somehow bring farming sims into the mix, even though I'm not playing a farming sim, I'm sorry. But yeah, for sure, like, the problem would, like, and I think we're getting past that, but, like, a lot of indie game, like, groups were like, I want to make a farming sim, I want to make the next Stardew, and they feel the need to put a farming sim and make a game that's too big, where it doesn't need to be that big. But yeah, I've been playing, like, a bunch of mobile games that kind of have those idle, passive notes of like, you can't really play, you can't grind this game. It very much purposely is designed. You got to come back the next day and find something new, deal with it, and relax, And I think that's cool. And in itself, it's a challenge to learn how to work with gameplay like that.
Because this is still like the same company doing these games and like putting these out. So of course they have a method of doing it. Not to say that, like, no one else can do it, of course, but I think, that is sort of the task at hand of just how to really even that out.
All right. This has already gone on quite long. I don't want this to be an insane episode here. Let's see what we can get through.
But John, you've got to tell us. We got to
take us to the not so wholesome, uncomfortable corner.
Oh, you mean like? Oh, you want me to talk about my game? Okay.
Yeah, because honestly, like, I'm so curious.
Okay. All right, folks. So I've been playing more Raincode. So I'm just going to be completely upfront here. I am not one who is very well-versed in romantic relationships, but I think I understand how it feels to call up an ex and have, like, a bit of a fling and think it's going good, and then have it, like, settle back into the stuff that you don't like, and then be like, oh yeah, this is why I stopped talking to you. I think I felt that, but with this game and Kodaka.
No.
Yeah, so
it's a great description.
I don't want to fully pass judgment because I'm not done. I have like 2 more chapters left. But I played through chapter 2 of Raincode, and it had me do something in that game that was so just wrong in such a way that made me very angry. As things shook out, I just got madder and madder. And I just hate the way that this world is set up. I hate how the characters interact with the systematic oppression that happens. I don't know. Like should I talk spoilers on here? I don't know. It just made me so mad the way that things shook out in that game. And I don't know, maybe it's just maybe it's my own personal politics that is how I view this game and how I view the outcome of that second case, the chapter 2 case, I guess you should say, because it's technically the third, because there's like a tutorial case, and like even if by the end of the game there is a sort of inversion, I'm still just like, man, I still did what I did to those people. Like, man, come on, like what am I supposed to do? Ugh. I'm so fucking pissed, dude. Like.
So it's like, was it like, yeah, you don't have to spoil it. So was it like you feel like stuff was done for shock value? And it was like, what was the point of that, right?
No. Okay. You know what? Okay. I'll do it. Here we go. I'm just going to talk about it. Again, I don't know the full context here. So if at the end of this game, my opinion is somehow reversed, which again, I do not see how that could happen, but I'm man enough to pony up to that. I will admit when I'm wrong, but again, not confident about that. So, the basic gist of so I don't even remember if I've talked about this game very much here. So yeah, the basic gist is you are an amnesic detective named Yuma who has made a contract with a death god who just calls herself Shinigami, and you are trying to solve mysteries in this closed off city called Kanai Ward. And it's basically run by a single corporation who also like has their own pretty much like private like military police organization who are extremely corrupt and don't actually solve any of the crimes that are going on and all that. So, the way that you solve the mysteries is you hop into these mystery labyrinths, which is basically just doing like little mini games to suss out the information. And part of that is that I don't really like how it's structured, because I feel like a lot of the mystery that goes, like, you know, I love Ace Attorney, I love a lot of other mystery visual novels, and part of a good mystery novel is the chase for the truth, I feel like, where you are uncovering things and you're figuring things out, and there is like this logical progression to the story as well as the mystery. And I feel like Raincoat doesn't have that, because the way that the mystery labyrinth works, because of how you interact with that environment, a lot of the mystery is revealed through that instead of like actual interaction with people involved in the mystery or investigation or stuff like that. You are just doing mini games to solve the mystery, and I think that's kind of I think that detracts from it a little bit. But so the second chapter, it legitimately one of my least favorite chapters in any visual novel I have ever played. So you start off, it's you and Shinigami, and then you also have this other group of master detectives. They each have like a superpower, basically. And Yuma's power is that if he is in physical contact with another master detective, he can like basically like bum off of their power. So, for example, in the first chapter, the master detective was able to like see a crime scene as it was when it was found, basically. So that way, like, if someone messes with the crime scene, then you can see it before it got messed with. And so, so Yuma is going around town and is being stalked by this girl who is basically just like, I'm sorry for following you around. I just was really excited to meet a master detective, and I have a mystery to solve. And she's like a high schooler, and immediately Shinigami is just going in on like trying to get under Yuma's skin because she's jealous. And she's just constantly going in, calling her a flat-chested uggo, blah, 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 constantly. And, like, she's very much like Monokuma. Like, Monokuma was a shithead. Monokuma was, like, fucking around with Makoto or Hajime or whatever, like, being a shithead. And, like, it was here and there, you know? Like, it's definitely something that Monokuma would do, just to be like, oh, you're like, oh, look at you going after the girls, huh? You fucking perv, you know? Like, that's something that Monokuma would do. But the fact that she's there constantly, like, it gets so fucking annoying. Especially because the girl's mystery involves her friend who died at their all-girls school. so you have to go investigate it in an all-girls high school, and of course Shinigami is making fun of you constantly about that, when Yuma is like straight up just like, I'm trying to like you know, they're trying to play it for a joke, but like they are so close to having Yuma basically just like look at Shinigami and be like, listen, I am trying to solve a murder case. Get off of my ass. Like, just shut up. And then, unfortunately, the other character that you go into, one of the other master detectives, they reveal in this chapter that he is a huge pervert, and that he is horny for the high school girls, and so it's just coming at you from both directions. Or one character is just like constantly being like, "Oh man, aren't you a pervert?" And then literally right next to you is a character who is a literal pervert, who is literally talking about wanting to fuck underage girls, like not even like beating around the bush, like straight up just saying that. And it's just like, I'm like, I want to just like take her and just like turn her slightly to the left and be like, just like, can you just do that to him while I investigate? Like, just do that, and then we can figure this out. But then like his whole his superpower is that he can use disguises, and so they, you know, you disguise as some of the girls on the campus, and like, yeah, they make bad jokes about it, but also honestly, the way that it's incorporated into the mystery is really cool, in that you disguise yourself as each of the three, like, girls who are the top suspects. Because, okay, I got a little ahead of myself. While you're investigating that initial murder, another murder takes place, because they're all, like, in a theater group, and you go to watch a theater performance, and one of the girls in the play, like, suddenly, like, is poisoned and drops dead. And so there's three girls left, basically, as the suspects. And so you basically swap between them and go talk to people to, like, try to, like, suss out how people feel about them, what their motive could be, that sort of stuff. Like, honestly, I thought that was really cool. Like, the mystery part of that was neat. Everything else about it was bad. So then you go into the mystery labyrinth, and things start to shake apart. And they basically reveal that they're like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, each of these suspects, there's one thing keeping them from being the right answer, basically. Like, she couldn't have been here at this moment to do this. She wouldn't have been able to do this right, you know, that sort of thing. She would have been busy. She would have been on stage. But then at the end, it's just like, no. That's because they worked together. They were accomplices. And why did they do it? Why did they kill the girl, the fourth girl that was in the theater group? Because she killed the original girl who died. And so they had to get revenge because the police didn't care about it, and they didn't investigate it. And they just ruled it a suicide. So you solve this mystery, and the twist in it all is that whenever you solve the mystery and figure out who did the murder, Shinigami reaps their soul. So you basically kill 3 high school girls who had to do vigilante justice because the system failed them.
Oh, no.
And, like, obviously, obviously, I'm not one to be like, yeah, you should definitely kill someone who killed someone else, you know, like, I don't know, like, but, like, the system failed them, and the game just kind of goes like, you know, detectives shouldn't care about justice, they should care about the truth. And I'm just like, man, fuck that, like, you're trying to say that to me right now? Fuck that shit, really? And, like, Yuma's, like, beat up about it, but everyone else is just like, Yuma, listen, you gotta get over it, man. That's just not how detectives... And I'm just like, man, that's fucked. That's so fucked. I hated it. I hated it so much, but I'm still going. I still gotta finish it, because you know what? Now, I guess I'm just like the Kodaka guy, because, you know, like, I got my fucking Monokuma, I got my Junko Nendoroid over there, like, oh man, but like, it's starting to feel like Danganronpa 1 and 2 were like some kind of fluke. Like, that's what I'm starting to feel like. It's just like, man, what
sometimes somebody falls off.
Yeah.
Sometimes you get the juice.
Really must have fallen?
sometimes you just got the juice for 2. And again, I know some people that, big fans of V3, big fans of some of the other stuff that has somewhat come out, but I will be the first to say that ain't, I don't play in that space. Danganronpa is a fun little series where sometimes you can just hear people go, man, I love this character, like, I love this series, I fucking hate this piece of shit, and it's like, all right, go off. But yeah, it just seems like Raincoat is I'm not really hearing a lot about Raincoat.
I mean, it came out like right around the same time as fucking Final Fantasy 16. Like, I actively skipped playing Final Fantasy 16 to play Raincoat because I was like, I'm ready to let Kodaka back into my heart. They got the band back together. It's the same artist. It's the same composer. I'm ready to give it, as Danganronpa, I mean, I'm ready to give it another shot. Let's go. And now I'm just like, I could have found out about Clive's journey. Like, like fucking Final Fantasy 16's got its problems, but like, I could have been doing some stuff with that. I could be playing Pikmin 4 right now. I bought Pikmin, and listen, I thought I would have had time to get to Pikmin, but this has been taking me fucking forever to get through. Because I've been playing through this chapter. It took me like a week to get through chapter 2, not because it was hard or anything, but just because I had to fucking stop after playing like for half an hour because I was just like, I don't. If I have to sit through more jokes about this dude wanting to fuck underage girls and that just being the joke, I'm going to die. Like, there's going to be something drastic. Like, I can't fucking handle this. And it's like, I'm done. I'm glad that I've moved on from that chapter, but now I'm just like sitting there like, all right, now what? Now what do you got for me, man? What's next? Am I going to have to like, am I going to have to reap the immortal soul of like, so is the fucking answer to the trolley problem gonna be actually I think the guy who pulled the thing has to be killed no matter what? Like, when does it end, man? I don't fucking know. Is that gonna be your big answer? When does it end? When does the killing end? Like, I don't know. I didn't decide to make the fucking thing killing people. I don't know. Is this supposed to be like a commentary on the Japanese justice system? Maybe. But then at the same time, it's just like, yeah, I don't agree with that, man. What now? Like, I don't know. Like, I don't fucking know, dude.
The game will, like, the Shinigami girl will break the fourth wall and just grab you by the throat and, like, ask you to do something. This is your fault.
Yeah, because that is just what I feel like. I feel like Kodaka keeps writing these games where at the end of the day, the question is like, is it the player's fault? And it's like, dude, you wrote it.
That was you wrote it, right?
Are you the asshole?
Yeah, just like very. Oh god, yeah, just classic. Like, the artist hates the consumer of the art. Which is a frustrating message. Yeah, I get what you mean.
Sometimes that works. Sometimes that makes sense. But, like, also, I don't really want to read that. And, like, also, like, the reason why the artist hates the people who consume the work is because of, like, the things that he's writing about. Like, dude, at this point, like, if you hated people who consume detective stories this much, you would have stopped writing fucking mystery stories like 4 games ago.
You could have done something else. You just kept making
more. Like, come on, man.
You have a choice. He has a choice.
Like, he made his own company to go do new stuff, and then just kept making more mystery games, and is now working with fucking Spike Chunsoft again to make another mystery game. Like, come on, man! We'll see how I feel about it at the end, but I don't think it's gonna be very good.
2 weeks from now, someone gonna pull, like, the biggest 180, and it's just like...
Maybe I will. You know what? Again, like I said, I'm ready. If I do, I will walk in here, that egg dripping off of my face, and I'll just be like, yes, you know what? It got fucking good. I'll say it. But if it doesn't, if it keeps going the way that it's going, I'm done. Never again. Never again. Not even a coin flip, unblock, and text like that one tweet. No, I will swear off of anything that guy touches ever again. Like, fucking hell. Holy shit. All right, let's try to run through just a little bit of the news here. You know, we've gotten through a lot of the big stuff, so we'll try to hit some of this smaller stuff quickly. Mention Final Fantasy 16. Elvie, I think you specifically wanted us to shout this out.
I mean, it's not big. It's just that. Oh, look at that. We're
Tell us about it. Tell us about it.
You know, the Takarazuka review, which is a musical troupe big in Japan. You know, known basically for being like an all-female theater troupe, female, women run and women performed. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're apparently going to do a show based on Final Fantasy 16 already. The game just came out. I don't that's weird, but sure, go off. So I don't know what that means. Usually, like a lot of stories they do, it's like it's their own spin on it, like it's their own original story. So yeah, who's to say what tales they're gonna put Clive in? I guess.
I mean, yeah, like, a lot of us saw not Jack. I mean, maybe they'll do Stranger Paradise next. No, they saw Clive's story.
Yeah.
They saw Clive's story and were just like, it is very similar to my own. And
I'm so curious how the misogyny is going to be handled when you have an all-woman cast.
I mean, a lot of their stuff, and that's the thing too, there's still like, it's still, unless you're super hardcore super fan, finding their stuff like in, like fandom groups and all that, like, it's hard to find their work casually outside of Japan, which sucks. I really wish they would like, and just in general, like as a whole, like discourse to live theater, like, oh yeah, how the selling professional recordings, people are gonna not go to the actual theater. No, you're fucking wrong. That is not true. There's so many official professional recordings and streams of shows, and that encouraged more ticket sales actually. But I know in Japan it's a whole different culture and different thing when it comes to those attitudes. So yeah, it's tough to say that. It's tough to find their work and find official recordings of work unless you're a super fan and you're like that person who I guess buys DVDs off a middleman in Japan. You find someone or whatever. But they've done tons of like much of their stuff is a historical record of like the typical like prince and damsel in distress stories. So oddly enough, based on what I've heard of this game, I still have not played FF16. It probably does fit that archetype. So I don't think it would probably stir a lot of heads, really. But who's to say? Again, I don't know what they're gonna do with this story. And there's a lot of characters too. Like it might be a streamlined version of the games, right?
Time will tell.
Yeah.
Time will tell. So we've been playing, I suppose. We've been getting into the new Pokemon app, Pokemon Sleep, which maybe we can talk a little bit.
If anything.
Yeah. We can talk a little bit about that. But news in regards to the older Pokemon app, Pokemon Go, specifically their developer, Niantic, where there has been a report due to a new lawsuit that Niantic is one of those systemic boys club groups where there's a bunch of pay disparity and just bias against women and people of color at Niantic, specifically mentioning how a Jane Doe said that she started to work at Niantic February 2020, was making $70,000 a year, and then she got promoted, but a male colleague was basically hired on and immediately started making way more money than her, even though he had a far smaller job title and less responsibilities. So, like, and then in comparison, she kept getting raises and stuff and got more responsibilities. And as of around spring of this year, she was at $115,000. But that same guy still getting paid more. Like that's crazy that she's like, was sticking around for multiple years, taking on more responsibility and getting paid less than, a male colleague who was not anywhere near as much responsibility as she was. This is not just a singular individual. This is a systemic thing.
Mm-hmm.
So yet again, we are having a report of a company that really needs to fix their shit.
Yeah, they're like not doing great. They're really not doing great. And like this is like in wake of like I think this Jane Doe, again, like that's just an alias for her privacy. I think she was one of the employees too that was in their recent layoffs they had and downsizing because Pokemon Go is their only successful thing right now. Every other project they've had other than Pokemon, I mean the Pikmin game is still going on, but yeah, they've lost a bunch of projects and had to shut down services of some other AR games that just didn't last long.
They had that like Harry Potter one that shut down. They had their original one that got shut down, I think. Yeah. So to the point where they had to like close one of their offices too. So it's like, we don't need it anymore. So it's like, I don't know. Yeah.
I don't know what their future is. But other than that, they did have an update for Pokemon Go recently. But it's like, even people playing Pokemon Go still regular are very just constant. I only ever see people constantly pissed about them. Like, it's not great. It's just like...
Yeah, I only see people mad about Pokemon Go. Like, weird. They just seem like a poorly run company from the outside looking in. Very frustrating. Hopefully things get better, and hopefully, or at the very least, hopefully the people affected by this find better work.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Speaking of companies that are going through it, we did talk about Activision Blizzard earlier, but the Overwatch Pro League, we talked about it a little bit, right? Like about the Pro League. Well, it seems
currently.
Like
I was gonna say no.
Oh, look. Seems like they're on a downturn, maybe? Yes? Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no, we had touched on it pretty quickly that currently the offer is, hey, vote on whether or not you want to be paid out between a collective $114 million or continue the league, where I believe it comes out to about $6 million per team, I want to say. Something along that line, but yeah, pretty much like, maybe let's stop. Sure. Let's see here. According to the amended terms, following the conclusion of the current Overwatch League season, the teams will vote on an updated operating agreement. If the teams do not vote to continue under an updated agreement, a termination fee of $6 million will be payable to each participating team entity. So yeah, $6 million per team, looks to be a total of 114 total, and then that just gets divvied up to groups of like what 10?
Yeah.
So like I said it before, do not blame anybody for just saying fuck it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're again, as been mentioned before, like, they're having issues with, like, coming to terms with, like, their contract terms. So it's reaching a point where it's like, okay, here's so much money. We're going to pay you out. You could just go. And I guess they're willing to take the bullet of, like, is there even going to be an Overwatch League in the near future? There's, like, nothing. Yeah.
Is there going to be an Overwatch?
Yeah, is there going to be an Overwatch? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But then, on the other hand, TF2's like back,
they're going
baby.
Off.
Yeah, like it's at its highest numbers ever, I think.
Yeah,
right?
in the summer specifically, a tangible report did say they're having like pretty peak player numbers in the past couple of months, which again I feel like is because of Overwatch 2's just fumbling, and probably other games too, probably other games in the same genre. Just people are like curious.
Totally. I mean, like, TF2 kind of has this timeless charm, and the people that love TF2 will always love TF2. Myself included. But, yeah, they did a big update. They added a new game mode, which was actually a fan mode that was, People like created it and were using it in community servers, but now it's an official mode. It's a versus Saxton Hale, which is basically just like a team versus boss mode, like kind of like a Dead by Daylight sort of thing, where it's all the mercs trying to kill Saxton Hale, who has a shit ton of HP and can like kill you in one hit, basically. It's pretty silly, pretty fun, but I mean, technically there's a 10th class now, because Saxton Hale, you could play a Saxton Hale, like he's the new character, yeah. Obviously I would love for more TF2 stuff. I would love for them to have an actual new update, like that heavy update that they've been, saying hasn't been canceled for like 10 years now or something, like who fucking knows. But yeah, I mean, people still love Team Fortress 2, and that will never go away, and I hope that stays, because yeah, I love TF2. I guess if we're going to talk about stuff shutting down and then rebounding, I guess we could talk about here I guess like a game in the same genre as Overwatch and TF2 in a way. That Gundam Evolution first-person shooter, that's shutting down already. Like,
yeah.
It's barely been a year.
Yeah, they're gonna officially shut down like by fall, but they announced already that we're ending, guys. Goodbye. Here's the timeline of things that are gonna happen. See ya, not next year.
Here's the things that are going to happen. We're still having a mech, one more mobile suit planned out.
Yeah, they're just like, it's weird. It's just like the tone is so weird. Like, oh yeah, we still have an update though. Don't worry. It's like, what the fuck?
After November, all currency will be null and void. Servers are shutting down, full on shuttering. If it's the aerial, I'm going to fucking laugh.
Oh, the last
if the last suit is just the aerial after they had this whole window to put her in.
Capitalize.
Yeah.
I'm like, one of the most successful Gundams in ages. Potentially, yeah. Like, straight up.
At least get people on board. But no, we had to put in fucking Seed Ashtray in there.
Yeah.
We just needed Seed Ashtray.
Yeah, live service models are bad. But also,
they sure are.
But also as someone who played the game, like, it was not a well balanced game at all.
It seems like from the developer standpoint as well, like it was a tooth and nail fight to specifically get some of the suits into the game.
Yeah,
when it comes to
I wonder
working
if
with Sunrise.
I wonder if there was insane weird shit too in regards to the suit designs that might have been unfortunately influencing why the balancing issues were the way they were, from my experience at least. But people did have fun with it, and like I think there could have been room for improvement as a result. So I don't know, but yeah, it didn't get a chance for that. So
yeah, very, very, very odd. But then again, on the opposite side of things coming back, Neopets.
Let's fucking go. I mean, to be fair, I don't think it's not that it didn't. It's new management, I'm guessing. I guess this is what this means. There's new management again for Neopets.
I mean, yeah, like TF2, it didn't go away. It's just
like, hello, yeah.
Like, yeah, they're like, and it's not. They're not really half-assing it. Yeah, like they're under new management here, but they had like a booth at Comic-Con. And
yeah, I've seen the photos too.
They announced that they're gonna do a new TCG. Like,
let's go.
and then they got John Legend as their brand ambassador. Like, what's going on?
Excuse me.
Let's go.
There's a video on Twitter, like, just excited to announce I'm the new brand ambassador for Neopets. My family and I have been longtime fans of the game, and I can't wait for you to experience it too.
Yeah, they always do that. Yeah, they always do that. It's always a random ass celebrity, but then you realize, oh no, yeah, they have kids, so.
Yeah, but like,
I know it's weird. I agree. It's
what
weird.
Kids nowadays have been getting into Neopets?
That's what I'm saying.
Absolutely. This is them absolutely being like, oh my god, we need to like get new people, because what has been sustaining Neopets all this time are like people our age. if not even older, like fucking Generation X nerds who are like, I still love Neopets and furries. You know, there's a Venn diagram there. Yeah. No, but yeah, it's that. It's like, yeah, because people are like nostalgic for Y2K stuff too, and that's just really what it's been. It's been like people who just probably not even people per se active on the site or like active on like what is the game of Neopets exactly, but just the idea of Neopets too. Like, oh, I love drawing these little guys and doing commissions for art and whatnot. So that's really what has been sustained. It's not been actual kids, which was the original audience of Neopets back then. So this is them trying, I think, to get that. Like,
also pretty good that in the middle of that, they were like, you know, we looked at the metaverse, we looked at the comments. Don't think we're going to do that.
Yeah, that's pretty nice. So again, also still like wary of, easy slip into crypto and Web3, even though they say that now. But, something like Neopets is very much something that can easily be exploited for that and be used for that.
I think part of the leadership is the fact that it feels like a much more, like, from what I can see, yeah, it's more so people that are fans, people that have grown up with the series, and so part of it being like the user end, but then also pushed NetDragon to save Neopets. So yeah, like a lot of it seems like more so an attempt to still keep this stuff alive, and so if anything, it at least seems like a means of people wanting to engage with the community, still keeping it alive in that capacity.
Yeah.
Yeah, time will tell to see like how much of that will, stay up to float. But
Neopets.
And yeah, we talked about it briefly too. I think like stuff like Flash games ending, like support being ended for Flash games was a huge death knell to potentially win Neopets, and yet they figured it out somehow too. So that might have been kind of like the beginning ripples to a new kind of Neopets. I don't know.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Last bit of news. Folks, never since SmackDown versus Raw, Marvel versus Capcom, Undertale versus Baldi's Basics, has there been a crossover like this. The Idolmaster Twitter account tweeted out that there will be an Idolmaster and Love Live collab concert.
The girls are no longer fighting.
They have formed a truce at the Tokyo Dome this December 9th and 10th.
The peace treaty will be signed at the Tokyo Dome.
Yeah. Finally.
I wonder which girls they're gonna have rep each franchise, because I see the image, but I'm like, is it gonna be those specific Seiyu and characters? I don't know.
I don't know.
But
I don't know anything.
One war is over.
Yeah, I don't know anything about those particular franchises. I just think it's very funny that, like,
yes, it is.
Yeah, these are the two like big idol anime gacha game like things, and they have, if they can find peace, I think we all can. That's what I'm taking away from this.
It should be inspiring. Yep.
Yes.
Oh,
reach out.
Oh no, the crowd of that concert will be very scary.
Oh my god.
It will be very, very scary, and I would not recommend that journey unless you're one of those people. Then, well, good luck out there.
I pray for peace between all. Like, I need them to understand that this is a place of union, not one of strife.
No, I'm not implying the crowd will be fighting and that there will be some sort of vicious war. No, I'm just saying it will be a really bad, scary, overcrowded crowd. That is very scary. I don't think there will be peace in that.
That too.
Like, beyond Comic Cat, like, again, every time one would see the footage of, like, Comic Cat every year and the scary, like, turnstiles at the train. It's gonna be that. I think it's gonna be that. It's gonna be bad.
Alright. Well, that's pretty much everything. We caught up with it. I think we did a good job with that, news-wise. Let's hit some questions, though. I know we've been going for a while, but
let's get the questions.
Let's get through some shit. If you want to send in a question, you want to send in a question, go to gamesline.tumblr.com/ask. Something like these folks right here. I'm just going to grab a couple. Maybe we can circle back around to some other stuff. We got some older questions. I'm going to hit some of the older questions first here. We got one from Fortunos, who says, long-time listener, first-time asker. What's a game genre that's not getting any love right now that you'd love to see get a resurgence?
I have two in mind.
Okay.
It's not that rhythm games are not having a moment. I think it's a cultural thing too, again. Like, I think because arcade culture is not so huge in the US per se and not as accessible in the US, so people are sick of peripherals. I get that. It's like, why would I get a stupid plastic guitar? Why do I need to pay for a stupid plastic guitar to play this game? You know what I mean? Like, I get it. And I get that's why something like Guitar Hero and, like kind of phased out in terms of popularity. And because it's just not accessible. It's just like, why do you use this extra bulky thing that can only play for this very specific game, So because like there aren't as many arcades, I guess, like, and there are arcades now again, like there is a big arcade boom again, but they're very commercialized and whatnot. But like compared to Japan, rhythm games are bigger, I think, because you get the fun, you think of Taiko Drum Master, you get the fun big stupid fake drums, and you can bang them, and then you get all those other crazy like EDM kind of DJ games and all that stuff. Like there's a certain immersion there when it comes to like a particular arcade cabinet and the analogness of it. That's harder to have at home. Harder to have at a home console compared to like, I feel like what American gamers prefer, or like I think at least in terms of the trends recently. So I don't know. I feel like, yeah, I think we just need, I don't know what's next for the big rhythm game that's like cool to play. I know there's like, yeah, we have Taiko, for instance, on the Switch, but it's not the actual drums. It's different. So yeah, I don't have an answer to that. So yeah, I don't know, some big new rhythm game surge, but like, my second answer is specifically movie tie-in games. No, not a video game based on a property. I am specifically talking about a celebrity's weird likeness and weird voice actor impression in a video game. We need those again. We need they're not good. They're shovel, but I think we need those again. We need those really bad direct movie / TV tie-in games. Not a video game based on an IP. No, it is the IP. I like bring them back. Bring me back American Idol on the Wii with the very bad Simon Cowell base model, with the very bad Simon Cowell impersonator. You know what I mean? Like stuff like that is very charming to me. I think that's very fun. I will not play them. I'm saying there's a lack of them. We normally see like activations. I always would call them like, oh yeah, here's a Fortnite skin of John Wick, right? But we don't see a full ass like John Wick game, So that's a key difference, right?
Okay, this is a weird one, but I would love to see, and I know there's probably some like indie games and stuff, and I think some people on Twitter have been posting about this too, but I would love to see like a fishing game that is just fishing.
Hell yeah.
We need to stop fucking around and being like, oh, there needs to be a fishing minigame and everything. No. We
Full
just
game.
need to have a fishing game. We need,
right.
like, Legend of the River King shit.
Yes! I was thinking of that! Yes, you are right!
Real fishing.
That series needs to be revived.
Yes.
100% agree.
Sega Bass Fishing 2. Where is it?
Also another genre that might have a stupid peripheral that people don't want yet.
Yes.
Give me more stupid plastic to hold for a very specific game.
We need a new fishing rod peripheral so I can use that to play Soul Calibur just like you did on the Dreamcast. That's right.
Yeah, I feel like that'd be a good inclusion, because I feel like fishing for the most part has been relegated to just minigame status, or has just gone the way of a full immersive sim, which is fine, but not everyone's hopping on Fishing Planet. They want to experience the Sega Bass fishing. They want to experience the Legend of the River Kings. But then nowadays it's like, oh no, but I can do this on Stardew, I can do this in a JRPG. But nah, let's get it wholesale. I don't know if there's anyone that I can like immediately think of off the top of my head. I will like echo the sentiment around just the physicality of rhythm games and having those more accessible, because a lot of it has been relegated lately to what you can do like on a PC, really. Some of it gets like a Switch port or like a PS4 port, but that'll also depend on what exactly people are really like wishing to get. But, you know, I think having some time removed from it, I would be hopeful of a new rhythm game peripheral, but it all just kind of comes down to like, the way you have to like offer the setup, because the initial downturn for Guitar Hero and Rock Band was that they were selling so many peripherals at a time that it just became so overloaded, even though it was like, you know, what is the actual difference between the Aerosmith guitar and the Rock Band, or like in the Guitar Hero 3 guitar? Not much, not really anything. But to that end, just like more physicality. I would at least be down to see more like attempts to like keep things up to date, because really like a lot of the rhythm games scene nowadays either like, you know, back end cabs in like your local Chinatown district or round one. And round one's work has really been getting whatever machines they can find, and like you'll get some oddities in there. The round one along Island still has a Rhythm Tengoku machine.
Last time I was there, that was there. Yeah.
Like old 2004 GBA version of Rhythm Tengoku.
Yeah.
Which is nuts. But then, you know, the version of Taiko that they'll have is like pre-Vocaloid. Like pre-Haruhi.
Yeah.
Or like right around that cusp, which is such an interesting time capsule.
Right.
But then, you know, you see the current iterations of rhythm games or licensed rhythm games.
Yeah.
And you'll notice a large chunk of that section is going to be, you know, original soundtracks. It's also going to be a lot of Vocaloid, because that really has like opened up as a genre for this kind of a medium. And so, I would at least be willing to push for more interaction between what's currently in arcades in Japan and then what is able to be brought over on this side. There's still some good stuff. I mean, freaking, there's that one rhythm game I won't bother to touch because of the fact that you got to dance along with the, like, anime girl in front of you. Like, they give you a privacy screen for a reason. But, like, you know, that's a thing I know. And it's like, oh, this is the one that has the collaboration with Momosuzu Nene. So this is, like, up to date within the last 3 years. There's a machine where it's like, oh, I'm literally playing the character song from One Piece Film Red. Like, we are closing that gap in some aspects. I would love to see it just wholesale caught up.
All right. Fuck. We got Gex questions. All right. Anonymous asks, Gex is being brought to the modern era. Who is his new Jerry Garcia? I mean, the answer is it's just Jerry Garcia. Like, they're not updating anything. He is not being brought to the modern era. The modern era is being brought to Gex.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't think there's an answer beyond that.
No.
There you go.
That's a statement.
And then Anonymous asks, well, they've remade every mascot platformer. The jokes just aren't the same anymore. Bubsy, Gex, Sir Daniel Fortescue, they're all back. So we need new mascots. What game should be remade into a Scrimblow-type mascot platformer with an unreasonably sassy protagonist? So which game should become a mascot platformer?
Oh, wow. Okay. I mean, is it, again, I don't play these games, but this is my impression that they're not good because of that. But isn't like every Borderlands character that, right? Is that my, that's my impression of those games. Like, isn't that the problem with them?
Elvie, I just felt physically ill thinking about like a Tiny Tina 3D platformer.
Yeah, isn't that a result of that? That's that. That's one of them. That's a real one.
Oh God! Like I seriously have an upset stomach now. Like, oh my God!
I'm so sorry.
Oh, that was not a good
sorry. But that did answer the question, I think.
It did. It answered it a little too well.
It's those fuckers.
Anyway, my vote is we should have a platformer where you play as the 3 animal mascots from the recent Persona games. So you just have Koromaru, Teddy, and Morgana off on an adventure.
Absolutely.
They're all fuckers. I mean, except for Koromaru, because that is just a dog.
Yeah, that is just a dog.
That is just a normal-ass dog. Which would make it even funnier because, yeah, like, it would just be this shithead bear, the shithead cat, and then just a dog.
God, I see it because I'm just scrolling through Higurashi platformer. Just the most deranged way that I could, like, get that going.
Oh my god. Like, what were you thinking of specifically?
Oh, I don't know, but...
It's just like an intrusive thought. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Oh, like, what other God of War collectathon?
I'd play it. I'd try it.
Because there is some of that, like, you know, platformy aspect to it. But...
Alright, let's see here. Bigger Challenge asks, we all remember the beloved third-person shooter 50 Cent Blood on the Sand. If you could pick... You're right, that's true. Mm-hmm. Great start. If you could pick any celebrity to go on a larger-than-life video game adventure, who would it be? Would it still be a third-person shooter or something else? And where would it be set?
This goes back to my second answer of the underage fucking movie TV tie-ins. Just put Keanu Reeves. It's shit.
Yeah.
Again,
that would be pretty rad.
John Wick Fortnite skin is different from John Wick 8, but no, this is just Keanu Reeves. It's just...
Just the Keanu game. Yeah. Oh my god.
Game.
I would play the hell out of that. You're so right.
Kojima just does that with his, like, face scanning machine. He already does this.
That is true.
He just does this on his own accord. He puts he puts celebrities in games as is. Just doesn't even modify their faces.
You can't even say Nick Cage anymore because he's in Dead by Daylight. Like...
Yes, yeah. I mean, it doesn't look like him that well, I would say. It's not a great impression of it. It's Dead by Daylight's weird romanticization of it.
I mean, but that voice acting is 100% Nick Cage, though, I'll tell you that much. Yeah, he's fucking going for it, which, you know, I wouldn't have it any other way. Man, I'm trying to think of just, like, a good... I want a David Lynch adventure game. Like, just going through David Lynch's day. Oh, fuck, you know what? Actually, related, but not the same. I want a review bra adventure game. I want to put that guy in a situation. I just want to see how he would fucking handle an event of some sort. I don't know what.
Yeah, because on one hand, I imagine, like, the tongue-in-cheek, like, angry video game nerd game. Like, you know, for some reason, I imagined that immediately, but you're right. Like, if it's, like, some sort of weird open-world GTA style
I was thinking point-and-click. Like, I want, like, a point-and-click adventure game with review bra.
Yeah, he's inner monologuing. Oh my god,
oh my god. Yeah, I mean,
again,
so
in
bad.
that similar tier, I would just love, like, Badlands is now in Street Fighter 6.
Again, you're right.
Above that, though, God, being John Malkovich, but it is just like a visual novel.
Yeah.
Like, I can't think of any celebrities right now that would, like, because I feel part of it is that you do need that cult of personality to really, like, go above and beyond with it. Because in a similar vein, you also have the Wu-Tang fighting game, which, you know, it comes from the fact that they just wanted to do that.
Yeah. Which was still great, but still.
No, yeah, it's that personal drive to want to do that. And it's like, I can't think of a celebrity that is like, you know, oh, I would love to, you know, have my own video game. No one's freaking out. The freaks that'd be down for that. Exactly. The freaks that would be down for that are now just like getting swept up into Web3.
Yeah.
Which is sad.
It's sad.
Because Waka Flocka video game would probably rule. Seth Green would love to do something with what little bit of celebrity he has. Give me the Pentaferet video game.
Oh, Again, if the Pentaveret came out 5 years ago, there would have been a Pentaveret. I sincerely think there would have been some insane GBA Wii shovelware in Pentaveret game. We need those. Yeah. God. What? God, yeah. Yeah, like, fucking, I mean, it's just...
It would just be Desert Bus, but you have to see Mike Myers' fucking haggard body.
Oh, God. God, yeah, just thinking about, like, a return back to whatever Adam Sandler and his posse of friends are doing, like...
the Happy Madison fighting game, though.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
There was a Paul Blart game, right?
Oh, yeah. Definitely Wii shovelware. There has to have been.
I'm gonna look it up.
But yeah, the Adam Sandler filmography, like, fighting game, multiverse fight, like, sure. Like,
oh my
Mike
God.
Myers, yeah, specifically Mike Myers, yeah, like, all these comedians who have, like, awful different multi-personas. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. There was just like a dumb maze game. There was never an official Paul Blart game.
No, but I want people to be like completely seriously like, hey, come join the Jill from Jack and Jill Discord. We got all the moves. You know, we're gonna let you know the combo strings. You know, if you want to be a real Lil Nicky player, you gotta know you gotta know how to when to pop his move like that's what I need.
I feel like Little Nicky had a video game.
Oh yeah.
There's like a Game Boy Color game.
Oh yeah. Right. Okay. Oh my God,
you're right. There were a ton of Austin Powers games. Like I saw a copy. I went to a Game Con this past weekend, and I sure did see a copy of Austin Powers Pinball for PlayStation 1, and I thought about it. Let's see. Cello Buster asks, what letter of the alphabet will the Gamesline rebrand to? This is a timely joke about the current goings on the internet. What are we gonna be?
Oh my God.
I think we should just get G.
Yeah, for good.
Yeah. I mean, if GamerGoo's not gonna fucking use it anymore.
I don't know. We have to we have to keep looking into that.
We gotta stake the claim. We're taking it.
Yep. Making an alias.
Now. Yeah.
Any one letter that is like already getting the groundswell for just like traffic updates on like a train line, that's what we gotta go to. Mm-hmm. So at least on the East Coast, that gets us A, C, E, J, M, N, Z, F, B, D, N, Q, R. Mm-hmm. Can't forget the NQR. Yeah, any one of those will at least be able to solve. Will be floating a little.
Folks, you can spell like a good amount of words.
We would get fucked up if we just had to share the same SEO as fucking Q update.
Yeah.
Get some real freaks joining the Discord.
Yeah. Let's see here. Shulis asks, in the new Spider-Man, Peter Parker's getting a little fucked up. What is your favorite instance of a nerd getting a little fucked up? That would be me at the game convention because I spent a lot of money at the game convention. that was a great instance of a nerd getting a little fucked up. I don't know. Anyone know any stories where a guy turns evil for a little bit and then it's like, no, I don't want to do that anymore.
I'm trying to think.
Oh,
because it's like it's hard to tread that line without just going full on Revenge of the Nerds, and that sucks.
That does suck.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, Black Suit Spider-Man is the classic of this to me.
Black Suit Spider-Man's so good.
Like, there's no game examples I can think of, but Kamen Rider related, there is one of the series in Kamen Rider Gaim, where one of the guys is just like a weak little like is supposed to be like the shy meek kid, but through the events of the story just becomes a fucked up CEO and it is very funny to see that progression. Because he's still pathetic through and through, and so the balance of it is really fun to see. And then I think they do an episode of, like, one of the minor villains taking, like, a guy, like a full-on nerd under their wing to be like, we're gonna toughen you up, we're gonna shape you up. Well, it's not that he gets fucked up. Phoenix Wright just becomes a good lawyer after being a dweeb.
That's true. That's true.
But isn't that turn like Hobo Phoenix?
Yeah, and even then, he wasn't necessarily. There was a question of his morality being a little gray then, but it was very clear. I was like, no, you don't fucking kill anyone. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like hard to think. Yeah, because like, and then with female characters, it's a whole like problem too, and kind of being reduced to the whole fairy tale kind of like, oh, she just became a evil bitch, like a scorned lover, or the whole like Cinderella. Like I think I can only think of like for some reason Yuna from FFX to FFX2, where she became like kind of like a different, more rebellious, tomboyish kind of like person. But that's not really. I don't think this is what this question's asking, right? So it is hard to think of because it's like a weird blurry, like, oh, what does that mean? Like, yeah, there's like different character transformations, but not really.
I think Shoeless is just trying to be a little stinker, you know?
Being a little fucked up.
I will say, now that I actually do think about it, game-wise, Nagi from Neo Twowie.
Yeah?
Oh.
Because she's still just a Fujo at the end of the day, but now she just has psychic powers.
Fujos will save us all.
Literally, that game is about what if a Fujo was just also the most empathetic person in Tokyo.
All right. Got one last question, and it is from Thank Gnome It's Friday. Thank Gnome It's Friday. Folks, one last question. Which superheroes are ripe for an innovative game? Which ones would you want to see that would have unique gameplay? I'm going to be honest with you. I know that it's cool to hate them now. I get it. But I want a fucking Iron Man game so bad. I want to fly around and shoot beams. That's all. I don't care about the story. I don't care. I just want to have a fucking suit of magical armor that'll let me fly around and shoot laser beams.
I mean, we had one. Just the unfortunate part is it was kind of shit. But I think if you give it to like an,
I mean, there's the VR one, and then I mean they had like Anthem was kind of that too.
Oh no, I mean like the licensed Iron Man game.
Oh yeah, but no, yeah, I want a good one.
Oh no, I was gonna say like it has to be like from some freak who was sipping on a lot of that Zone of the Enders juice, or like a lot of an Armored Core head.
Yeah, that's what I want. Maybe that's not innovative, you know, because I did say that I just wanted a good version of something that already exists.
Right.
But God, I want it so bad.
I can't even say innovative. I would just love Hulk Ultimate Destruction 2.
Yeah.
And I get that in a way we have that in like Prototype, but like I want to surf on cars again, dog.
Yes. Elvie, what superhero do you want a game of?
Weirdly enough, yeah, I'm gonna say something here for the tokusatsu freaks. We need first of all, those games need to come to the US. I think that'd be interesting. And then two, we need actually like, especially with how episodic those series and different franchises play out, like I feel like we need those different characters, you know, like Kamen Rider. I'm even thinking about Power Rangers, honestly, like the American version. Like, it would be cool to just have like an open world game where you play out kind of like like a monster in a week. You know, it's like, oh, here's an open world game, which is kind of like the Spider-Man games, right? As is like that. It's like that. It's just that. Just reskin those. Just reskin those for these characters, and you're just playing out different monster of the week missions, etc. And you're walking around the city you're in, and like that'd be cool. That'd be that. I'm even thinking about that for like applying that to like other things. I'm thinking like magical, So yeah, just like a template. So I'm not even thinking about a specific superhero, but I think there's like tons of like different genres across the world that and superhero adjacent that like could work well with that medium of game. Like it would be cool to just like, oh, you go around a city and you take on missions. Cool. That's it. That's all I'm thinking of.
Yeah. Gaming.
All
right. Well, it was a long episode, but that was because we took a week off. But we're done now. So, thank you so much for listening, everybody. If you want to continue to follow our stuff, you can follow us on a bunch of different websites. We have our main website, which is gamesline.net. You go on there, you can look at all the stuff that we post. Sometimes we post more often than others. But that's okay. We're gonna get some more stuff up soon. We've got our Twitter, or I guess our X. I don't fucking know.
Bro, that's still Twitter to me.
We have our Twitter at the Gamesline. Our Tumblr, gamesline.tumblr.com, and if you put /ask, you send us a question. For here, or for our anime podcast, or the wrestling podcast, or all the other stuff we do. Facebook, YouTube, just look up Gamesline. Gamesline TV is our YouTube. Or is that our Twitch?
That's the Twitch.
That's the Twitch. The Twitch is Gamesline.tv. I closed the thing too early. I fucked up. I need to open up the page again. Yes.
Gamesline TV is the Twitch.
The Twitch.
And our recently new TikTok.
Yeah, we do have our TikTok.
We
got
doing
TikTok.
Stuff on there. I've been doing stuff. It's mostly my face on there. I assure you that won't be just my face soon. As I get some stuff going for.
Yeah, should I help you with the TikTok?
No, you're good. I think if anything, it would be help just finding, just clipping our VODs and stuff. Real, I think that's just a priority right now. So,
okay.
Figuring that out.
Yeah, YouTube.com/thegamesline. Yeah, we've got stuff. Scott just did that big Together B&B stream.
Maverick and I were on that. Yeah.
Oh god, that was a lot.
I think it's still processing though. Like it's been processing for like a day and a half. So,
but the VOD is on the Twitch, so you can check that out. But
you'll probably
on YouTube,
be able to. You'll probably be able to see it on YouTube by the time you hear this. Patreon.com/Gamesline, $3 to get our stuff either a week early or just in general, because our anime podcast, Unlimited Railworks, is a week early. And you can also listen to The Clothesline, which is the wrestling podcast. And that's the only way you can listen to it. $3 a month. I don't think that's that much.
Nah, that's fine. And
our Discord, thegamezone.zone, you could come and hang out with us. Come yell at us. Tell us what we're doing is wrong. Or tell us what we're doing is good. Whatever you want.
Don't yell at me.
About it.
I'm so scared, but I can also ban you.
Just be nice about it. You can tell us that we're doing something bad, but also just be normal about it. And thank you to Melt Channel Magic Circle for our theme song Crush off of the album Magic is Real. meltchannel.bandcamp.com, magic-circuit.bandcamp.com. Bandcamp Friday is going to be not this coming Friday, but the next one. So that'll be when you'll want to buy their stuff. Where could people find y'all? Elvie, go ahead.
Sure, yeah, you can find me on Twitter. I'm also on Blue Sky now. I haven't even used it yet, but I am there, apparently. At LVMAEPARIN. LVMAEPARIN. And I'm kind of using my Tumblr again. I'm also on co-host. And also my Steam name. I'm known as the Tuxedo Birdie. You might probably also recognize that alias I have on Discord, because also Discord's username system is fucked up. But I am Tuxedo Birdie on other places, so Tuxedo BIRDEE. So thank you. You can send me a Steam friend request. I might ignore it though. I don't want you to see what I'm playing, which is again probably a dating sim. But that's where you can find me.
Maverick, how about you?
Folks can find me on Twitter still at Maverick Drifter. You can find me on Blue Sky. That's just Maverick, Jost Maverick. Outside of that, I mean, John and I are actually going to be over at Otakon this coming weekend.
That's
true.
Go.
Yeah, we're gonna hang out at Otakon.
DC boys.
Yeah.
Yeah, if any DC listeners want to come by, we can recreate the ending of Metal Gear Rising Revengeance in front of the White House.
Last time I went, I had a great time, but it was like kind of overwhelming for me. But again, I'm also someone who is a vendor, and that's a different perspective.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I do recommend though, like, raincoats. It is muggy around this time in DC.
Okay.
Oh boy, their thunderstorms are so scary.
I will probably be
just in case
accustomed to it.
I will say it looks pretty clear that week with a high of 96.
Hell yeah.
It's going to be hot. It's going to be cooler than Texas, at least. Texas has been over 100 for the past 3 weeks, so yeah, it's pretty bad. But no, I'm stoked. I'm ready to go to Otakon. And yeah, you could find me at JOHN_MICHONSKI on Twitter. Yeah, I made a Blue Sky too. I don't really use it that much. I've just been kind of just like looking at it mostly, and I'm just like, I don't fucking know what I'm supposed to do on here.
Yeah, we're all just parking in places just in case. That's kind of in the feel, right?
Yeah, I mean, if you want to follow it, it's at johnmichon.bsky.social. I don't know if I have to tell you that whole thing.
Oh, you just need the first part. You never gotta have the fucking .bsky.
Okay, I don't fucking know. I don't remember.
That's extra. Like, if we had... eventually, I figure we'll all, like, manage to get it linked up just to Gamesline, so that way you can be like, hey, go to our website. But that's a whole other deal.
I mean, I'm on fucking Tumblr, too. Servbot42, I'm on there. I mentioned that because I was reminded a little bit ago, because there's that Tumblr Live stuff that's going on there that you can just, like, click on. And I did accidentally click on one, and I did have some guy, like, in the middle of smoking a big bunch of weed, just going like, what the fuck's a serve bot? And me just having to close that and just being like, alright, yeah, shit's fucking crazy out there right now.
I have Tumblr, but I sure as hell don't use it.
Yeah, understandable. But that'll do it! Thanks so much for listening, everybody. We'll be back next week with... Oh, I won't. Me and Maverick won't be. We're going to be at fucking Otakon. But we'll most likely be back with another episode of the Gamesline podcast next week. See you later. Bye-bye.